What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the Undrafted and Overconfident podcast on a Monday, March 9th, 2026. I'm Jason Semko. With me, Brandon Bigo Gordon.
Semko, man, we're inching closer to some pretty exciting sports thingamajiggers.
That's exactly the word I was going to use.
I mean, it's a
jam-packed schedule coming up.
It's a cornucopia of sports.
It's probably this springtime area is probably my favorite time of the year with sports.
Yeah, it's a time of new beginnings. Not only the flowers are blooming, but teams are grabbing new players in the NFL. Teams are making it into the big dance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and the baseball season is about to bloom. See, all of these alliterations to spring.
The Masters will be coming up soon in golf.
Yes, that's
right. The Players starts this week as well, so we're in full golf mode.
Full golf blow. I can't stand it, but I'll stick and I'll watch the Masters. I'm okay with the Masters.
At least watch the back nine on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Well, that's just must-see TV.
Yeah, I like me a good back nine, that's for sure.
I know you do. Especially after all that BBL we were talking about.
Oh my God, you got the chat riled up on that one. My goodness.
I think Chris, maybe he needs to re-listen again. First of all, Chris, I didn't say I liked the Corgi BBL.
There was a bit of an obsession, though. I even mentioned it. I was like, you know a lot about this Corgi Badonkadonk.
Yeah, re-listening to the episode, I was like, whoa, I really...
Came on strong.
I did.
Came on a little strong there.
That's okay, though.
That's fine. You enjoy puppies, that's all.
I do. I like the little dogs.
Yes.
Nothing
little
wrong with
dogs,
that.
big booties. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, I'm sure you didn't spend all weekend just staring at some Badonkadonk Corgis. So what did you get into this weekend, my friend?
No, got into some full-blown adulting.
Woo!
Went to the Lawn and Garden Show in Richmond, Virginia. Let me tell you. I know you're in sales, have been in sales.
Yes.
I felt like I ran into 100 of you.
Yeah? Lucky you.
I felt like the salmon swimming upstream and the bears are there just waiting to chomp. It was rough. Just giving their all best sales technique, and they're good. I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
Like, they just lump you in. It's like, well, you have a roof on your house, right? It's like, well, yeah. It's like, well, is it under 15 years old? No, it's over. Oh, that's okay if it's over 15 because I got this option for you. No matter what you said, they're going to get you with something.
They had something to sell you.
Yeah, and there were like 4 different rooms. We weren't even halfway through the first room, and I was done.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
This was fun.
Not really. But no,
so the Lawn and Garden Show, was it like vendors just everywhere and you're just picking apart and grabbing all the free swag off their table?
There wasn't but so much swag. Now they want you to sign up and give your information.
No, that's the worst.
For anything. It's like, oh, here's a $5 off your whole entire roof purchase if you take this. It's
can
like,
I please?
Where do I sign?
It's like $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, but I get $5 off. So
we actually went there. We were looking more for like landscapers.
Okay.
And we do want to do some remodeling in the house, so that was secondary.
All right.
There was one landscaper there. So the rest, it was like your roofing.
It's the big ticket items, right?
Yeah,
big ticket items.
And then they'd also have some different. They had like some different vendors there as well, like some food vendors. So it wasn't all just business, but that's mostly what it was, and it was.
Did they have like contractors that do like screen-in porches and all that jazz? I'm so glad we did not hear about this, because if my wife went, she would have said yes to the first 5 people that would get us a screened-in porch.
That was probably one of the bigger. There were a lot of different vendors that were kind of featuring that. There's a lot of kitchen and like screened-in porch ideas. I mean, you could have the ones that like automatically like raise up, like the glass, or the. Almost like a lanai type thing, like a screen if you want it.
Yeah. Like my wife would have been in screened in heaven, and she'd be like, "Let's get all of the things. I don't care what the price."
Yeah, we saw that, and then we also saw they had like hot tub for like just like 2 people or 3, like really small. That just looked like perfect. We could like lay out if you wanted, or sit down. Yeah,
life of luxury over here.
In the forever home, probably. Got some good nuggets for that.
There you go. Squirrel them away, my friends.
Squirrel them away. But yes, probably the most, the best part, the part that woke me back up after just, my wife, she's kind of in sales, so she kind of sometimes wanted to hear guys pitch, and she would just kind of sometimes like lie to them or something just to get them going.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm standing there like, oh, where can we go? And I was getting kind of hungry. And thankfully, like the last room we went into, it was all what I call the fun stuff.
All right.
The food.
Yeah.
It was like the tea company that I like.
Oh, nice.
It was like this bread company that we got a bunch of stuff from. It was all like the food.
You're so English. Say tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets.
Got a little tea.
Got like this, like it's called like an apple scrapple bread.
They
it's
call
like
them
apple cinnamon bread.
They don't call them like cookies or bread. They call them biscuits.
Biscuits.
In the UK. The tea and biscuits.
In my flat,
I eat tea. I drink tea and I eat my biscuits, and then I go see Man U beat up on those Chelsea rigamaroos. I don't know. I made that last one up. I was close.
Man U is playing well. They're better than Chelsea right now, so good on you.
All right, well, we're getting the soccer stuff out of the way early, guys. So yes, I gave him a little bit of a scratch, and now we can just
we're coming back.
Stop going on that itch. Any other big highlights from the Lawn and Garden show, sir?
Well, definitely, I felt like it was almost. I ran into all these older adult salesmen, and I was ready to fend them off. But you know what was the worst?
The one you just couldn't say no to?
They had a Girl Scouts table set up.
It's cookie season.
It don't remind me. I know it's coming from everywhere, but they are so cute.
They are in their little outfits.
I know, and they're like, "Do you want to buy any cookies?" And we did say we actually did get our delivery from our next door neighbor. Their daughter is in it, and we bought a few cookies. So we were like, no, we already actually got our cookies, and they were so sweet. They were like, well, thank you for supporting the Girl Scouts of America. And I was this close.
You're like, let's just
turning around.
Box.
I know. I was like, we should just get one.
They're trying their hardest. They're out here.
But then after we were like walking away and leaving, I was like, should they have been allowed in there?
I mean, they must have made a field day.
How could they not?
Shooting fish in a barrel, all these people around here, and they're, especially when you think about the optics, right? Every other vendor in there is like, it's going to cost you $10,000. It's like, this box of cookies is going to cost you $250.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy 10 of those, and I won't get my roof. I won't spend $10,000 on my roof, but I'll get $10 for the cookies. Some
immediate satisfaction now.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the Girl Scout cookies and the troops everywhere now. Everywhere.
You're getting hounded by. I get hounded by people at work all the time.
Yep. Hey, did you get your? Yes, I got my Girl Scout cookies already.
It's like I got every other house in the neighborhood is someone in some troop. Like it sucks saying no all the time to them.
Yeah, you gotta realize that they're a dime a dozen. Those Girl Scouts, they're cropping up all over the place. You heard about the story in New Jersey about where they found a Girl Scout troop, right? Not a place you'd think of, but kind of ingenious.
It is.
So in New Jersey, and it got shut down. But a Girl Scout troop, I guess the owner of the shop was the one that said, hey, why don't you guys come out here? It's a good idea. They were reportedly selling Girl Scout cookies outside of a daylight dispensary. Yes, that's right. A legal marijuana store. I mean, is there a better match made in heaven?
That's exactly what the owner of the cannabis store felt.
Yeah. He said business is booming thanks to customers dealing with the classic munchies. Either going in toked out of their minds or on their way out being like, you know what, I don't want to make 2 stops.
Well, you don't smoke in there.
No, but I'm saying they got their stuff, it's on their brain. They're like, I am going to be hungry later.
It's new weed day, so you got to get stocked up on the munchies.
Yeah, so you don't, like I said, you don't want to have to make 2 trips.
No.
You don't want to spend all those exorbitant Uber Eats costs.
Nope.
So, hey, I'm going to get me a couple boxes of Thin Mints.
And there's so many different options. You could just get like one of everything, and then who knows what mood you'll be in once you've smoked your reward from the cannabis shop.
Yeah, but the owner was just like, he was very honest about it. It's like the connection between snacks and cannabis, this fact that we don't have to pretend anymore that it doesn't exist is really awesome. But apparently, of course, you have to have those Debbie Downers, and they spark some backlash, and they were told that they couldn't post up anymore. I guarantee you, if they were allowed to do that, they would have gone to Nationals or President's Club or whatever you want to think of. It's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, I would say, okay, just go one store down. Wherever the dispensary is, just go to the tractor factory or whatever
just
is
make
next
sure you
door.
put up like a big banner or something so they can see you when they walk out.
Or just get a fan. Except the Girl Scout cookies don't smell. So you get a fan and waft it over. They don't really smell. They're so prepackaged.
Yeah, you can maybe just have like one of the moms bake something and just have that smell, and then at least track them over for the cookies.
Yeah, just get Chris Kattan from that movie just on repeat. It's like, you got some cookies.
I might send some people away.
Corky Romano, man. That was Seabear's favorite movie.
Yeah, I
Loved
know.
him some Corky Romano.
He likes Corky Romano. I like The Pacifier. We each have our awful movies.
No,
that
I'm
we
actually
love.
being facetious. He couldn't stand the Corky
Oh, really?
Romano. He loves Zoolander, and I actually told him one time that it incredibly offended him that I liked Corky Romano more than Zoolander, and it was more because of my hatred for Zoolander than it was for my love for Corky Romano. But
I get that.
It's Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
Chris Kattan, prime time. It was his one leading role.
Just
let him have
they
that.
gave him a shot.
Yeah, but Girl Scout cookies, man, they go with every occasion. They're good for a light snack, that overindulgence, that midnight munch. You got to have a top favorite or a top three. What are your go-to Girl Scout cookies?
So I'll go from 3 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you're going to be very disappointed in my number 1.
Okay.
You've generally been pretty okay with a lot of like my movie selections.
I try and be less hateful in my old age.
That is true too. You have admitted that a few times. You were not happy with my Santa Claus choice.
I was not.
But the other ones, I think, made up for it a little bit.
Yes.
But going number 3, Do-si Dos.
The Do-si-dos, okay.
Little peanut butter.
The peanut butter ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
2, which is
Hold on.
Oh,
Are we gonna do your top 3 and then my top 3? Is that what we're gonna do here?
Yeah,
All right.
just like the movies. I'll
All
go
right.
first. You go second. Second, which is probably almost everyone's first, Thin Mints.
Okay, yeah. Thin Mints, it's almost an obligatory top 3. It's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, it kind of does. And when they're cold in the freezer, it's hard to beat. But my number 1 always will be on number 1. Trefoils.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say the most bland cookie that they offer. Literally a shortbread cookie, just like tastes like butter. You know why I knew this was going to be your number 1? I wish I could have written this down. You know why I knew this was going to be your number 1?
Why is that?
Because when we were in college and even right afterwards, I remember coming over to your house and it was like dinner time. I'm like, what are you having? And all you would have all the time is just butter noodles.
Yep.
And I'm like, you putting some sauce on that
Nope.
thing? No, just butter noodles. Okay, do you have like meatballs or anything?
Nope.
Butter noodles. So I am not at all surprised. I should have written that down. I knew you were going to pick trefoils.
I had a feeling.
Weirdo.
They're just so... sometimes just the simplest ingredients just hit the spot. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, you drive me nuts sometimes. There, I thought you were gonna. I mean, I like that they have the Girl Scout emblem on the trefoils.
It is clever.
So they do a little bit extra for that. So I'll appreciate that.
I will give like a little honorable mention. We did try for the first time the Explore Moors.
Yeah, they got new cookies now.
Yeah.
I remember my wife was like, "Which ones do you want?" I was like, "I don't recognize half of these on this list anymore."
But those were good. Very much like s'mores.
First of all, they got a caramel chocolate chip cookie now. Leave that at the door. People aren't coming to Girl Scouts for chocolate chip. They can go to Chips Ahoy or something. Why do you have
same thing?
Why don't you swerve? You zig while they zag. Do something different.
Yeah.
Don't go down that path. I'm disappointed in you, Girl Scouts, for just succumbing to the chocolate chip cookie.
When I looked
phrase.
that up, I was like, "Am I on the right site? Like, do I have the official Girl Scout cookies?"
Is this a
there's
knockoff?
no way they're
doing a
chocolate
chip.
Yeah.
They add a caramel to it. You can't fake me out. This is a chocolate chip cookie. So shame on you, Girl Scouts. Stick with what you know. But they're branching out. All right. Well, your trefoils just ruined this for me, my friend. But
I've got you all on a tailspin over
Yeah,
there.
I don't even know where to start now. I'll go with my 3. I think it used to be the go-to for everybody. You kind of mentioned it. You put it in your 2. I'm putting it in my 3. The Thin Mints. It's almost like they've been around too long. It's like there's just it becomes a little bit more bland. It's my trefoils. It's very bland. I know everybody's like, oh, but you got to put it in the freezer. It's so much better cold than it is just right out of the pantry.
So much better cold. It is better.
I was like, it's okay. I mean, Thin Mints. The problem with Thin Mints is that you could go through a whole sleeve,
Which we did.
and you're like,
No problem.
I'm kind of still hungry. I could
Yeah.
eat another sleeve.
They're very thin.
So
Very thin.
So that's why I partly put them down there because it's like I want to be satisfied with 1 or 2. I don't want to have to go through a whole sleeve to be
Yeah.
like, that was good. I love chocolate. So I got them as my 3. My 2. I do also have the Do-si-dos. I'm a sucker for peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah.
Who's not? It's a marriage that goes so well together. It's the same reason why Reese's is going to be my go-to, one of my go-to candies out there. But I am not putting it at the number 1 because I got to give the number 1, which was, I think, the first cookie that got me hooked on Girl Scout cookies. Okay. And even after I realized what was in it, because I'm not a huge fan of one of the ingredients.
I know what you're going to say.
Well, I don't think you do because they're now called the Caramel Delights.
Oh, no.
Previously known as the Samoas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
I know. See what I did? So apparently they changed their name. I guess it was like, I bet you it was freaking Jimbo that was like, Polynesian culture, you can't call them Samoas. That's offensive. Thanks a lot, Jimbo. Can't just let good things go, right?
No one thought anything of it except for you.
Jeez. You're a freaking Islander.
Yeah.
Howley Islander.
Yeah, you Howley.
Howley.
Is that really a derogatory term?
It is. I mean, the actual definition is man without breath. Ha is the breath of life, and Ole is man, so Howley is man without breath. So it's kind of insulting because you're pretty much saying you don't have a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then it really turned into just white boy, down the road. It's like you don't see the locals on the islands calling like the Japanese that come to visit Howleys. It's all the white people.
So like in the kickball league you were in, they'd be like, "You stupid Howley."
Yeah, no, that was for a while. I thought that meant, "Hey, buddy, like, hey, Howley, get to first." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, friends."
Oh, these guys like me.
But yeah, so now they're apparently called Caramel Delights.
No, I don't like that.
So I'm not gonna discredit them for that. Coconut. I didn't know it was in there when I first enjoyed it when I was a kid, but I mean, I don't know, the combination of the coconut and the crunch and then the caramel, it just kind of works too well.
It is good. I do like that probably would have been 4.
Yeah. So yeah, none of this trefoils of yours. My goodness, it's madness what you're saying. Madness, Semco.
And that's what I really wanted to go back and get from the little Girl Scouts.
The trefoils. Do you have any more trefoils?
We didn't have any at the house.
They're probably like, yeah, we have 1 million of those because it's number 10 on everyone's list.
They probably didn't even bring them. They're like, we only make them if people ask for them because we always get left over with so many. We shrink them out.
It's like we usually save those for the retired people that can't handle the taste buds, and they're like, I just need something to nibble on and keep the saliva going in my mouth.
We actually give these to the dogs.
Yeah, these are dog treats. Did you realize? But no, you're mad for thinking this, but it's a great segue into what else is going on in March that's kind of mad. It's here. It's almost here. March Madness, my friends. There's so much to talk about. We're inching ahead. I know we're a week early for the big talks. Excited about Selection Sunday. We're going to be able to talk about it next week. We're going to fill out our brackets. And then you and I will really go, mano a mano. And we still need some predictions on what our bet's going to be.
I know. I'm leaning on, I really want you to do a Will Whitaker inspired workout with us.
God. No. Wait, so you're talking about like a CrossFit one or the one that you guys do on the weekends?
Oh, weekend.
I can do that in my sleep. Get my ruck pack on and just start doing lunges.
We'll do some lunges, burpees.
Burpees.
Yeah.
I think I'd surprise you. It's like I can handle me a burpee or 2.
Okay. Well, I would like to. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I've been trying to think of.
Shocker, you pick a punishment that's physical fitness. Shocker.
Yeah. Like I said, I need to give you some payback for the last
I love that you would just already assume that I'm going to lose this. I am on a hot streak right now, my friend.
I mean, you are, but it's also, I don't want to do something. I want you to have to do something you don't like. You were going to do the cold plunge that
which
you do.
I know so many of our friends give you a hard time. Why did you agree to this? This is what he does.
I know.
Every day.
Which is why I'm going way to the opposite end of the spectrum. And yes, I wanted to be like, we need to do like a 10K.
No, I had never agreed to that. No, 10K.
So I kind of had to bring it back, and I'm like, you know what? Get into like have Will come up with like a workout and we'll just do that. It'll be like 20-minute for time or whatever.
I can do that.
Yeah. And we'll do that. Get you good sweat going, get the heart rate up. But yes, that's kind of where I'm leaning.
I was thinking about some sort of eating challenge for you.
Oh, okay. After the dog food talk.
I was thinking, I don't know. I was going to do some research, and I still might. And, of course, we'll come to agreement that you'll be willing to at least put this on the line before we come on air. But I've got a few ideas I'm going to send you about you got to sit here and you got to eat this whole like party-sized sub or something like that before you can leave. Okay, it won't be that. But I'll figure something out.
Say like a cricket sandwich or something.
Oh, no, God. I'm not going to make it like disgusting. I'm going to make it actual food that you'll enjoy. But
it's good protein.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just have you eat at a restaurant by yourself dressed in a ridiculous costume. I know. I got a lot of things going on in my head.
I like that.
Yeah. Either something that's going to be painful to your tummy or painful to your pride. One of the two. But, that'll be a great memory for me when I win again.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Obviously, March Madness is filled with incredible memories, my friends. So I'd love to hear. Well, we've got so many stories about March Madness with our friends, but like you had kept giving me a hard time. I blew our Super Bowl load way too fast.
Way too fast.
And I was like, "You got nothing for next year." I was like, "Well, I got something."
We'll always have something.
But we'll save some of those friend stories for maybe next week. Maybe we'll just do one or two. Yeah. We'll continue leaving out because we're in it for the long haul, big guy.
I'm ready. I'm ready to admit. I think you've been ahead of this, or you've been wanting. I've mentioned before, if we're still doing this in 6 months, and you're like, of course we are. I think I'm with you, man.
Who's going to stop us?
I think we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah, that's right. Until they shut us down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once again, I got a little roadmap I want to give the listeners with what's coming.
Oh, okay.
Because we got a lot coming up.
Oh, so much.
So we've kind of had to actually look ahead a little bit and kind of plan out. Not that we don't plan out the episodes, but really actually have to think about it. Because next week's episode, unless you guys want us going 5 hours and get everything in, it's basically just going to be March Madness in the brackets.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to go through pick by pick by pick, but it's going to take a while if we're going to put a bet on the line and go through it all, and it's just going to take a while. Plus, we're going to say some stories from watching it with like our friends within our friends.
The majority of the sports part of our cast next week is going to be on this.
So therefore, this week kind of has to be a little bit of like some little pre-March Madness, some memories, and some fantasy baseball talk we'll get to. Because after next week's episode, MLB opening day is coming up.
Bam.
So we got to do our preview show for that. So that's going to be a lot in that episode, plus the March Madness results that just happened.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have to get into the NFL draft and the Masters after that. So we've got a lot to get into.
Yeah, there's plenty. We got through that one scary week of there's not a lot to talk about. Whew. Deep breath.
Yeah.
And we're here. So let's get back to the March Madness, man. Let's talk about at least one or two, maybe of your favorite memories as a kid. Some of the games that really kind of stood out to you that you'll always kind of have in the back of your head. You're not going to remember every pass, every dunk. But what were some of the biggest memories for you?
So probably the first buzzer beater that I remember, way back when in 1998, Valparaiso.
I knew you, Valpo.
Bryce Drew. And part of it is because my dad, since it was one of the first like upsets that kind of happened, and then the way that it did, he'd always be thinking, where's the next Valpo? And Valparaiso would make the tournament like every year after that, so he'd always be like, look at Valpo. Watch out for Valpo. And they lose like first round every time. But no, it was a crazy good game. Ole Miss, they had one of my favorite players at the time, Ansu Cisse.
Cisse.
Excuse me, yes.
Excuse. Excuse, Cisse.
But he missed a free throw to go up by 3. And it almost looked like if there was a replay, I think the ball might have gone off a Valpo guy, honestly. But they called it for Valpo. And then the play was great. Full court, power forward comes up and catches it like above the 3-point line. And kind of before he lands, passes it to Bryce Drew. And he heaves up the 3, hits it, and then kind of like eagle slides. On the court, and everyone just like ambushes him. But that was like a cool play. It was it was a 13 over a 4, and so I loved it. That was a great buzzer beater. It was a great game, and just that final play, the way they drew it up was brilliant. Homer Drew, he was the coach.
Homer Drew.
Bryce is I think it's also Scott Drew. It's all part of that Drew family.
Nepotism.
Exactly. Bryce ended up actually having a little bit of an NBA career as well, so he was a baller.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the first kind of buzzer beater I think I remember.
See, I didn't really get into college basketball until way later, probably in high school.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know, I was a football guy when I was growing up. My dad was a huge football guy, baseball guy. So those were the two big ones. I really started getting into college basketball during high school when brackets started coming out. And I was like, oh, man, I got to do my research. And I was like, now I got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll put a little cash on it.
Yeah, a little $50. Yep. That was big money when you're in high school.
Damn, $50.
$50, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And, of course, I was like a sophomore, and I was in a seniors league from the football team.
Yeah.
And I remember distinctly, I was like, I think I won this. And he's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
And they took your money and ran.
Probably did. Yeah. I have no idea. But the biggest one for me, and maybe it's because I remember him in the NBA too, dude, it's got to be that Kansas-Memphis championship game with Mario Chalmers hitting that buzzer beater in 2008.
Yeah.
I started thinking back, it's like, I feel like Mario Chalmers got such a rough run in the NBA that it just destroyed his credibility. If he just never even got in the NBA, I mean, he already probably lives scot-free. He could. He buys no food.
He was
in
a
Lawrence.
baller at Kansas.
Yeah, but I mean, for winning that in the Buffers against a Derrick Rose-led Memphis team, back when Calipari was still the coach, like that was a huge one. Of course, it was still a blue blood against Memphis, but the way that it happened, that was one that will always resonate with me. It's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that was a great game, back and forth. That was a typical March Madness game. But I remember that game because Memphis all year long, everyone would always ask Calipari, your free throws. You guys aren't good at free throws.
Yep.
And Calipari just kind of had like the answer Shaq would give on the Lakers, we'll make them when they count. And Shaq always did. I'll give him credit for that. He always made those free throws when it counted. Memphis did not in that game.
No.
And it
came back to haunt
completely cost them. But that was just a great game. That was Derrick Rose was, one of a couple of kids at work, they're all like, I can't believe he won an MVP. I don't know why he won an MVP. I don't think you should really realize just how explosive and how entertaining and how good he was. He just would take over a game with his athleticism. So he was a joy to watch, and for anyone to come in there and stop him, that was impressive. And for Chalmers, he wasn't even the best guy on that team.
No, he wasn't. That was a stacked Kansas team.
Yeah, it was a stacked Kansas team. But I was happy that Kansas won that. I think that might have actually been the only year I think I picked the winner.
Yeah, I picked it. I think that's you'll see that's where a lot of my memories, both good or bad, come from. It's like, did I pick them going? And I remember picking Kansas to win that. So that's why I remember it so fondly. Like, yes! Now, on the other side, and I'm going to give you a bad memory for this one, is another year. I feel like I just got hyped on Kansas. I'm just going to pick Kansas and Bill Self all the time.
I know.
Crush for me. And 2 years later, I had Kansas winning the whole thing. And apparently they ran into a juggernaut of Northern Iowa.
Yup. That was what was it?
2010.
The 8, they were an 8 or 9
They were a 9 seed.
Yeah, yep.
And freaking this guy, Wahami Ali, Farouk Manesh's freaking threes, he was unfreaking stoppable. I was like, would somebody put a freaking body on this kid? Short King, probably your height out there.
I know.
Draining threes.
Yeah, that was, that guy was unstoppable. It's one of those where I started rooting for Northern Iowa because I think I might have had Kansas too.
The other reason that this game specifically really sticks in my craw, if you will. What are you?
No, I think I might know why. No, go ahead though.
Because Heidi.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Todd's wife had picked that upset because she liked the freaking mascot better. And I was like, this can't happen. We can't allow this to happen.
And it did.
And I was just like, why? And she's like, I'm completely distraught. And she's over here like, oh, did my team win? And she's being completely sincere. She's not like rubbing it in my face.
No.
She's like, oh, did my team win? Get out of here.
She's almost like, I'm sorry, Brandon, that your team
lost. Oh, it's like, don't. That makes it worse. That makes it worse. Don't do that. It made it
so much worse.
But yeah, I'll never forget that. So those are my two Kansas for you right there.
Okay. I want to give one and a half more buzzer beater because the second one will kind of lead into, I think, one of our local stories. But the next one, because this is probably my favorite team of all time.
Ooh.
We're back into 1998.
1998.
He was one of my favorite NBA players too, but college players. Richard Hamilton.
Yep, Rip.
Rip Hamilton, before he had the face guard on, UConn. They only, until recently, could only win the NCAA tournament if they were out in the West region. So was the University of Washington, 11 seed in the Sweet 16. That team had Khalid El-Amin. Remember Jake Voskuhl?
Barely.
He was like this European, kind of like a Chris Hunter type hair.
Oh, yes.
Kind of flowing.
Freaking handsome devil.
But had probably my favorite player of all time on it. His name was Ricky Moore.
Okay.
Because, I wasn't a scorer back then. I was more of like a
distributor.
Point guard. I was a point guard and a defensive guy. And, you're like, you watch the NBA and you're just, no one's in the league that's like that. So you kind of think, like, my skill set's kind of useless. Why play basketball?
Oh.
But then that guy, that's all he did. And he was like, on one of the best teams in the country, never scoring a point hardly, but impacting the game in a big way. But, man, that game against Washington, I think Hamilton drove, missed like a floater, ball got tapped around. Voskuhl kind of got it, I think, and threw up another shot. And Hamilton kind of comes out of nowhere, gets the offensive rebound, kind of fades away, and just drills the shot. And they were down by one. So I do kind of favor the buzzer beaters when the team's like down,
right,
not the tie.
Right.
But yeah, so they were down by one and hit that at the buzzer to win, to go to the Elite Eight and end up winning the whole thing. But I mean, that ball bouncing around, and they get 3 offensive rebounds. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, it was.
I love that, and that's probably one of my favorite teams of all time. They had a couple other guys that were just like good role players, but that was just a fun team to watch.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't really have much more. I mean, the one that other kind of sticks out to me is, again, it's like, I love the idea that this is kind of be your top moment. You're never going to remember anything greater than this moment right here. So the 2016 Villanova over UNC in the championship game with Chris Jenkins.
Out of?
I don't know.
Gonzaga High School.
Gonzaga, but he went to Villanova? He could have gone Gonzaga?
I know, he could have.
Fool. But it worked out for him because he hit the buzzer beater, won the game.
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins, that's going to be he's going to, on his tombstone, be like, hit the buzzer beater.
He's like the only guy from that team that I don't think at least got a taste of the NBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was his moment.
It was.
So I'm so psyched for him to have that moment.
That was one of those two where I think a lot of, like when you play like pickup, you just see a lot more teams do that play.
Yeah.
That they did. It was so simple, but it was actually kind of a weirdly ingenious, this little kind of like dribble up. You just kind of follow behind, and then the guy just literally like throws it behind him, and the screen's already set.
Yeah.
You just take a little bit longer three, but you're like in rhythm, and it was perfect. It was awesome.
It was. So those were some of the biggest buzzer beaters that I think we were talking about. But, I mean, we're local. Let's not deny it. We're from the DMV.
We got to talk about
some of those DMV teams that made it way further than anybody expected us to.
And it all starts with little old George Mason.
The Patriots.
In 2006.
Gotta love it.
I remember growing up, look, when you're like 12 or 13, you don't really know much, but when you're watching these sports and, March Madness, and you see like the Dukes, Kansas.
Those Blue Bloods.
And you think that George Mason is like a community college. You don't even think they're D1.
I thought they were a community college.
Kids would walk around wearing like the Coach Larinaga basketball camp shirts, and you're like, I mean, what little piddly camp did you go to? Like, yeah, that's a worthless camp. Like, whatever. But man, I was glad we kind of did this, because going back, I had forgotten that they were an at-large bid.
Yeah.
Tony Skinn, their like best player, punched the guy from Hofstra when they lost in the semifinals by like 20 in their Colonial Conference tournament. I was like, how did they get in to this whole thing? And man, yeah, they were 11 seed, Michigan State, UNC. And then I think what helped them was, do you remember who they played in the Sweet 16?
I don't.
Because you get that like week in between. And sometimes that's where these Cinderellas kind of lose it, is because they get all this hype. They played Wichita State, like another kind of Cinderella.
What a great name, Shockers!
You can't give the sign.
No,
they got in trouble for that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
And then took down UConn, which it was in DC. That definitely helped. Not saying it didn't, but look, the other team we're going to get to kind of blew people out of the water. Mason was actually down by 12 in the first half, 9 in the second half, and kind of launched a comeback. But it always, I'll never forget, where it just looked like, I'll be honest, it kind of reminded me of the Canada-U.S. hockey, where Canada just looked twice the size of our U.S. players out there.
Yeah.
UConn was huge.
Huge, yeah.
And we had that big old, like, Jai Williams guy.
Jai Lewis.
Jai Lewis,
yeah.
He was huge. And, man, he just was so much shorter, but he was
He's just a big guy.
He was using that
just
big
muscle,
body.
Man, absolutely.
And, man, but that run, no one had heard of George Mason. I had, like, buddies we were calling each other because we were at, like, different universities. Because we were maybe, like, juniors, sophomores at the time.
Yeah.
And everyone just like, can you believe that Mason like did this whole thing? And I'm convinced if they played any of the other teams other than Florida, I think they would have played in the national championship game. Like I think they actually were playing better than every team except Florida, who they ran into.
That Florida team had Joakim Noah on it, right?
Horford, Torian Green.
They were stacked.
Yeah, they were stacked. And they had a couple other guys that went pro on there.
Yeah, no, that was pretty. And then you get the plucky JMU, like you said, with a Jai Lewis, who again he was probably like he's their center, right?
Yes,
and he's like 6'9".
Yes,
and
on a good day,
and everybody else is like 4 or 5 inches taller than him. But man, he just all the way through.
Well, and that's reading one of the articles I wrote because it was like something that was like 10 years after the run. They interviewed a lot of the guys, and basically all the guys said the same thing. Or at least had the same one little comment that they'd all make. We were a really close basketball team.
Yeah.
That makes the big difference.
It does.
Like, I almost am convinced that these teams in March Madness now, the top 10 teams in the country right now, they all could win it. It's which one of those teams likes playing for each other, with each other, and really wants to go after it and get it.
I'm
and
glad
with
you
this,
think that,
with
sir.
this whole NIL stuff, you got guys like Darren Peterson at Kansas. I'm not picking them to go far at all because I don't know. I think he might just get to the Elite Eight, and in a game that they might be losing by 10, he knows he's going pro.
Am I going to risk getting hurt here?
Cramps, or just not go dive for a ball that could make it play. And so I think that's what you end up loving when you see these teams that make it far in the tournament is. They might not have shown it during courses of the regular season, but they're like all in. Yeah. Like Houston last year, that team was all in taking down that. I mean, the rookies of the year in the NBA are both from Duke.
Yeah.
Knuppel and Cooper Flagg. And that Houston team came down, they were down like 8 with a minute and a half left and took it to them.
Yeah. So you think all the teams in the top 10 have an equal chance of
except for
no.
Damn it.
Top 10 teams, any of them could win it, huh? Who is in the top 10 that I've been rooting for?
I think I meant like 8.
No,
top 8, like an Elite
10.
8. They're 9.
Nebraska ball, let's go! Come on, top 10. You heard it here first, folks. Semco's team.
If I lose our matchup by like 3 points
and
because I picked Nebraska to lose first round, I'm going to be so angry,
and I'm going to be just elated.
I know you are.
But let's talk. We're taking a lot of time on this one. We got a lot of other stuff to go through. But let's talk about another really, really strong and awesome team locally that we got to see go far. Shaka Smart,
yes, leading
that team again. Plucky underdogs of truly local, the VCU.
Yes, they first of all, this was the inaugural year of the first 4.
Yep.
I hate that. Those teams have an advantage. Just like the college football playoff.
Because they're hot?
Yes. Indiana is the only team in the 2 years of the college football playoff to win with having that bye. VCU is not the only team from that to make it throughout the years. I think NC State or Syracuse has. I think LaSalle made it like to a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 one year. So good for VCU. I'm going to kind of knock them and put George Mason up ahead.
Okay.
Because I like George Mason more.
Yeah.
But VCU,
I think it's also because you like their coach more. You like Coach Larinaga more than you like Shaka.
I do like Shaka. I like both. But no, I mean, they got in, but they did whip everybody. They won by like over 13 points in all their games, beat Kansas by 10.
Yeah.
Bradford Burgess, Midlothian guy, kind of like led the team. But yeah, it was like the 40 minutes of hell that Nolan Richardson had at Arkansas, except these guys could hit threes.
Yeah.
And that was such a... I mean, their defense, I mean, it was the Havoc defense,
Yeah.
and it truly was. But then when they had the opportunity to score points, 3 after 3 after 3, and before you knew it, it was like a Golden State Warriors starting the third quarter. Like before you know it, Steph Curry just hit 5 threes, and you're down by like 21. Like
it's that feeling like quicksand, right? You're like trying harder and you're making more mistakes, and that's why it was called the Havoc defense.
But they actually almost got to play Richmond in that Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Because
that's right.
Richmond was going to play Kansas.
All Virginia.
And Richmond was talking smack before that game. It was the Morris twins. And I guess, Kansas did win by like 20. But then one of the Morris boys was like, well, now we're going to take down the other Richmond team. And that didn't happen.
No, it did not.
But yeah, VCU had an amazing run. Unfortunately, they ran into probably what ended up being like a almost bigger Cinderella, Butler.
Yes, I was going to say Butler in that year.
Matt Howard, I know, well, I'll finish this quick. I'm so angry still. I had ODU that year. Mm-hmm. They were a 9 seed or the 8 seed playing Butler. I had ODU in my Final Four. Oh. And Matt Howard with a stupid putback.
Yep.
I was like, I think that if they can win this game, they're going
they just need to get past this.
And Butler just kept making me feel even worse about it, even though it made me feel good because I was like, I was on it. I was going to get it, but it's Butler, not ODU.
Did it bother you more that Matt Howard just looked like the least athletic guy on the court with his T-shirt under his jersey?
Oh, my God, and that hair. And he was so gangly.
He's so gangly.
And just, I mean, they did have Gordon Hayward. That made it a little bit better. Yeah. But, that Matt Howard. And then to beat Pitt the way they did, where Howard got a rebound with no time left but got fouled and made a free throw. Yeah. But basically like 2 buzzer beaters in a row.
And they almost got 3 in that championship game.
A half quarter.
Almost beat Duke. Almost completed the trifecta of buzzer beaters.
And I want to remember that because this is probably the last time that we could say that like a mid-major probably legit had a chance.
Yeah. I know a lot of people really want to see that the people that weren't like really hunkering down on those Duke boys winning the tourney for them because they had them in their brackets, but at that point I was way gone because I'll to this day I will never pick Duke winning the whole thing. I just can't do it.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
Okay.
I'm the anti Will Billy. Will Billy will put Duke in there every year. I'm the opposite. So I was rooting for Butler that whole time, even though I think I had Pitt going super far in that. So when they beat Pitt, I was as bitter as you when they beat ODU. But
it's what makes it so fun, though.
It is. It really does. Years have passed, and those feelings still linger, but we can kind of get past it. Yeah. But some people go on to great things, some people go on to nefarious things. So I think that kind of gets us to keep it in the college basketball. But Cal State might not make it in the brackets, but
no, they're last place.
They're making a different racket, if you will.
Oh,
you see what I did there? Rhyming. I didn't even use my rhyming dictionary for that one.
They're not going to be pimping anytime soon.
Or will they? So the story broke not too long ago, and I got to tell you guys, Semko could not have. I've never seen him more excited to talk about a topic before. But so I guess he's not the head coach. He's like the assistant. Or an assistant of the coach?
He's an assistant, yeah.
But
used to play for the school.
Yes. Apparently, what's this guy's name?
Kevin Mays.
Thank you, Mays. We were just talking about this. Kevin Mays was apparently while working. He's a multitasker. God bless him.
Power to these people.
Hey, some people got to work more than one job to make ends meet.
It's tough out there. It's California. There's a lot of taxes.
There's not a lot of money in the temporary assistant coach for Cal State. Budgies in Bakersfield. So what did he do instead? You know what? He's gonna just start being a pimp.
Yeah.
In not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 different states.
He's diversifying. He's building his business.
Building his brand.
Yes.
Absolutely. Getting his stable ready, if you will.
I just couldn't believe the headlines that were all over was like former NCAA player is a pimp. I was like, are you using this term? Like, are they legit? And yes, he's one of the many charges that he's under is being a pimp.
Yes. Yeah, he's there was an anonymous tip that came to the head coach, Rob Barnes, about him being a pimp and apparently trafficking a specific woman, but obviously he was doing it to quite a few. And in all caps, the email to Rob Arn said, "Fix it or the whole staff will fall. First warning and final warning." And apparently now, yeah, he's got multiple felonies such as pimping,
drugs,
possession of methamphetamine and marijuana to sell,
firearms
with high capacity magazines. Yeah, so this guy's just
and child pornography.
Yikes! I didn't even get to that part.
The youngest is 4 years old.
Jesus Christ! So yeah, he just needs to go away for forever.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was keeping it light with the whole pimping ain't easy, and then you gotta go bring that child whatever.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no. So yeah, quite the the red flag for Cal State. That's what they're going to be known for, sadly, for the next 5-10 years.
You do know that every game that they go into for the next couple years, banners are just going to say pimping ain't easy, right?
Yeah, or pimps don't cry. Pimps don't cry.
It's just who has the time? It's like the Sharon Moore thing. Who has the time to do these things?
Hey, Simcoe, it's hard out here for a pimp, okay?
Apparently. Well, when you are making that little bit of money. I did see, though, that one of the, I'm not going to say co-conspirators, but one of the way that he was able to do a lot of this, traffic on all these different states, was using an enterprise rent-a-car
Oh,
account.
yes, really? Yes. That does not surprise me, sir. Yes, sure. So for those of you that don't know the history of Bigo's job experience, his first job out of college was at an enterprise rent-a-car for quite a few years.
It was a very popular out of college job.
Step Brothers definitely knocked it out of the park when they said, they just started ripping it. It's like, yeah, they teach you how to be your own boss.
Yeah,
and that's definitely what they sold you. And again, they didn't mind that you had no experience whatsoever. They're like, we're going to take these guys green.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for a couple of years. I rented a few cars to a few pimps. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, there definitely were a few hotels, motels in the Arlington, Virginia area that got busted for said activities.
Yes.
So hard not to think
I would not know anything about that, but I will say that there were there's more than a handful of people that rented a car from me that I was like, I do not want to clean this car when it comes back. I'm going to be off that day because I know it's going to come back trifling as all get out.
Was there ever I'm sure you had certain people that would come in my dad would do it every 2 weeks for work, same thing, that you would see and you're just like, oh my God, how is he going to bring the car back this time?
Oh yeah,
or she,
Yeah, I mean, it's whenever anybody tried to rent a car with a debit card, I knew I was in trouble.
Oh, okay.
They're like, here's a debit card. I was like, ooh. I was like, when am I getting this car back and in what condition?
Yeah.
That's where they started saying, okay, debit cards, we're doing an additional $200 on the rental.
Really?
Yeah. Just as a deposit.
Okay.
But with a debit card, that junk's getting pulled out of your account. People didn't understand that. So they come back and go, why did you take $200? I told you I'm taking $200.
Yeah.
You use a debit card.
That's why we were scared of giving you this card.
Yes.
You don't even understand what I just told you.
No, my funnest story with the Enterprise rent-a-cars, I did... rent a car to, at the time, the Capitals head coach, because I was at a rental car place that was attached to a Benz dealership right there in Ballston where the Caps practiced.
Is it Barry Trotz?
No.
Oh.
Is it BB?
Yeah. That wasn't BB?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he do a lot of cursing at you?
No, he was quite friendly.
He was?
Quite friendly. Yes, so I got to rent a car to Bruce Boudreau. That was my brush with a celebrity, if you will. I saw his name on the reservation. Oh man! But his buddy came to pick it up, which is not fair. But Sam Castle, when he was an assistant coach for the Wizards,
oh okay,
he had to rent a car, but he didn't come and pick it up.
You mean Cassell?
Whatever.
The guy that used to play in the league.
Yeah, the guy that looks like an alien. Yes, that guy, Sam Cassell. Sorry, call him Castle.
He was the first Rajon Rondo.
He was part of that Timberwolves team, that original three with KG, Latrell Sprewell, and Sam Cassell.
Well, he was even on the Rockets team.
Oh yeah,
back with Hakeem Olajuwon, and Clyde Drexler.
We are going down a rabbit hole right now.
Showing off some knowledge.
Yeah. Last thing about Enterprise real quick. The other cool thing is that we had to rent that out to Vice cops that were undercover. That was cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were coming in and they were looking like they belonged in a gang.
Yeah.
And then they whip their badge out. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll run this car to you. And it's like they had a contract with the police, but that was pretty cool.
That is pretty bad.
And they were like, I was never here. I was like, you got it.
Yeah.
So if they interrogate me or they try and, threaten me, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them that, yeah, this guy picked it up at this time. Yeah. This is where he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not messing around with none of that.
Well, I mean, chances are, though, you ever wonder, I'm going to get a little off topic. Some guy comes in, and it's the whole, like, I was watching a show the other day. Actually, Justified again. And, the assassin comes up to you, and he's just like, tell me everything you know. And so finally, like he's going to shoot you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
why are you going to get tortured and then get shot?
Yeah.
I'm just going to get shot right away.
But then you don't want to get tortured. So do you just sit there and be like, I mean, he's going to kill me anyway? Or do you ever think that, like, maybe there's the 1% chance?
I think that your desperation, your mind tells you, well, what if I tell him everything he wants to know, maybe he'll let me go. Yeah, you're dead. But I would still do it because, again, the other part of my brain would be like, if I don't tell him, he's going to pull all of my fingernails off.
I know.
He's going to probably pull my teeth out. And then he's going to kill me. So I'd rather my last hour on Earth not be completely torturous.
I know. That's what goes through my head, too, is it's like, I got to assume I'm going. So let me just give you the info.
Sometime. Yeah.
Think of my most happiest, best thoughts, and wrong place.
Or go with a bang
and
just bop him in the face. And then he'll just smoke you. Or run. And that's your best chance, especially you, speedster.
I would try. Well, some of them are good. They stand back the right distance where you can't go anywhere. They get you in the right place where you can't run. I would try, though.
You know a lot about these interrogations that I don't know about. Yeah, they position themselves all sorts of different ways.
When you watch as many of those shows like I do, it gets pretty obvious when, the guy is like, he's like pointing his gun out, like holding the guy hostage. He's like looking around at everybody else. You're like, well, he's obviously going to get the gun taken. But, the guy that like gets a certain distance, make sure there's no other weapons around.
Length.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, this guy's a pro.
No, you just love living in a fantasy.
I do.
But which is fine because next up we're going to talk about some fantasy baseball there, guy.
It's time.
You love living in that fantasy, don't you?
Not as much as I would like to admit. Especially after this last week in hockey.
Oh, man, you're sweating, but you're fine. You're in the playoffs. Don't worry about it. We'll get into the maybe we'll do a little bit of fantasy hockey since it'll be officially playoff time.
It will, I know.
Next week. Exciting stuff. Who are you going to match up with?
I'm hoping to have a bye.
Yeah, you keep hoping that,
I know, it'll probably be you.
But fantasy baseball, man, we're up on it. We've got, 2 weeks left until we get our draft on?
I can't wait.
It's the best time of the year.
Yes.
Fantasy baseball draft is better than all the drafts.
It really is. One, we probably get just about everyone to do it.
Everybody's invested. Everybody, yeah.
And they put a lot of thought into it. And
some do. Some don't.
Well, okay, that's true. But people are there at least making the picks.
Yes.
More than in, hockey, it's like 4 people. And football, it's weirdly feels like just half.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of auto drafters in fantasy football.
Yeah. But baseball's the real deal.
Yes, absolutely. Bring your A game.
How many mock drafts have you done?
Full? 0. I always try and squeeze them in, and then I forget how long they take.
They really do take forever.
So it's like I'm doing a draft. I get like 4. I'll do a mock draft. I get like 4 rounds in, and then I'm like, oh crap! I'm supposed to be on this work call right now.
It does. I mean, even if it's like 30 seconds, which is not a lot, but when you've got like 12, and if it's a lot of auto drafters taking time, it takes forever sometimes.
Well, the thing that bothers me with the mock draft, and I think you do the same way I do, is the mock draft, because they know, they're like, we got to speed this up. They make it so each pick gets like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Whereas in our draft, we get like, a minute and a half, maybe 2?
Did we drop it to a minute? We might have dropped it to a minute.
But that's the problem. It's like when we get to our draft, I'm panicking because I'm used to that 30-second clock.
Me too.
And I'm like,
I know. I'm Oregon. I get my pick off so fast. I don't waste any time.
Yeah.
The only if I don't get my pick off literally within 2 seconds, then that person before me has picked the guy.
So now I know if I see you hesitating, I'm like, oh.
If we're down to below 30 seconds, then that also means that I was banking on this one person, and I have no idea what to do. And that does happen at least once every draft. which just annoys the bejesus out of me.
Well, that annoys the bejesus out of me because I don't want to draft near you then, because I always use the person in front of me as a buffer. I was like, okay, where am I going here? If I'm drafting right behind you, I get no buffer because you're going to go bam, and I'm like, oh, it's my turn all of a sudden. Thanks so much, Semco, for that buffer. But what are some of your favorite memories? You got anything from the fantasy baseball? You don't have a lot because you keep losing to me. So I don't know if those count as they're favorite memories of mine.
I'm glad they're a memory of mine, but not a favorite memory. Yeah, I mean, we'll just start off. It wasn't for a championship, but it was for third place.
It was for third place.
Baseball's been around since the 1870s. The guy that just had the best offensive day in Major League history just happened to be playing me that week.
Yeah, the year of Shohei.
Oh my God, like how ridiculous was that?
The only thing more ridiculous is that I wasn't playing for the freaking championship, and I had Ohtani in that where he was hitting like 50 bombs and 50 stolen bases.
I know.
How did I not make the freaking championship?
That's on you, man.
No, I ran up against Judge. That's what happened.
I know you did. I think Ohtani had he might not even have hit a home run that week, which I knew. And then of course
he came to play for you.
10 RBIs. He had like 2 stolen bases, 6 for 6, 3 home runs.
Yep.
I was like, what the actual? Like I was keeping it close with you, and this was on like a Saturday or something. I was keeping it close. Then he just did that, and I was like, what's the point? Like.
If it makes you feel better, that was very bittersweet for me. Yes, I got to do that against you, but I was like, where the F was this last week?
That's true.
I needed you last week,
I know
my man.
You did.
But that's part of the thing about fantasy baseball. It's just so unnerving. It's like these are 162 games. You can have the best. I'll never forget. What was it? 4 years back, Jimbo had the team. From start to finish. I think he was in first place for the whole run, and then he fell flat on his face.
I think ill will took him down.
I think it took him down.
And ill will just did nothing like all year. Then all of a sudden, the Atlanta Braves got hot because that's all he had on his team.
The Braves.
And the year that I think they won the World Series that year.
I think they did.
And I guess it's not the worst strategy. I can't knock it because he's won before I have, or later than I have.
Pick guys on good teams.
I know, but no, my favorite memory, and telling this now, it's not going to hurt Todd French as much because he won last year.
He did. He's finally.
But
it's the one strikeout.
When Todd and I were living together,
yes,
briefly, yes, and Todd was not very good at the fantasy sports.
No.
So this was like 1 year, which is probably because he was living with me and we were talking about it and stuff.
So you're taking some credit for this.
Well, he'd set his lineup and pay attention. We talk about it, so he got invested a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But yes, we ended up finding ourselves in the finals, and it was a highly contested match, and it was coming down to a few categories, and one of them was going to be strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up some pitcher named Ian Kennedy.
You'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it. Didn't know who he was at the time. And he won me the belt by 1 strikeout.
All other categories locked in,
basically,
tied up.
Yeah.
And the one category that put you over the edge was a single strikeout for the championship.
Yes.
Man, that's...
I remember, because I didn't watch it or follow it with him. Thank you, Todd and Heidi, because they had just gotten married.
Yes.
Came back from their honeymoon.
Mazel
and
tov.
I was sitting in their house like, well, howdy, roomies. So obviously, I would kind of do my own thing. I kind of lived in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And we would hang out. We definitely would hang out. But, they would kind of be upstairs watching TV or something. And I was kind of following it on my phone. And when it was like over, I remember walking upstairs and like Todd was on like the couch. And I was like, hey, buddy. Sorry, man. He was like, I'm sorry.
He's like, get out. He's already got your bags packed. He's like, you are no longer welcome.
He's like, you got 48 hours. Don't say anything to me. Leave the key on the table and get out.
But yeah, that was definitely, insult to injury because to your point, he kept getting the short end. And one of the funniest things about Mr. French is that he would always tell us before we made this a belt league where there was a trophy at the end, he would win it all the time.
Right. He would say that.
All the time. And then I come in, you come in, Sieber comes in, and all of a sudden he's the lovable loser that just can't get to the top. He finally got it. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memories. Was one year when I don't know what was going on in my life, but I really wasn't paying attention to my team. And it had been like a month since I had even updated my team. And it just so happened that when I decided to update my team, I was playing Todd. And I was living with him at the same time, too. This is when me and him were living together. And he's like, I just remember in our apartment, he's like way down on the other side. And it's like Wednesday, and I've been doing ad drops, I've been moving stuff. And all of a sudden, I guess he just now, because he assumed this was a bye week for him. He's like, oh, I'm playing Bigo. He's not paying attention. And I just hear from his room, he's like, what the F? And I'm like, oh. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean, what do I do? He's like, why are you setting your lineup? I was like, why I should be setting my lineup. It's like, now you decide to do it. And I'm like, it came to me in a dream, so I felt like I had to.
Who texted you and told you to?
No one. This is before any collusion or any insider trading. It was me just literally being like, oh, crud, it's been a while since I've checked my baseball team. I better update this thing. So that's one of my favorite memories. And just getting to each other, that's always my favorite part.
Know.
I mean, winning is winning. It's great, and I love being on top. That's what she's saying. But the best part for me is just seeing the heat that comes off of each other when we're playing against each other.
No, I love it. You know what? This is just going to be stories that involve Todd French because I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was recently because I was down here. And because Todd and I would go running like at least like 3 times a week, like in the mornings. And so we would talk a lot about like the fantasy baseball, and we were both really invested in it. And every single week, Todd would be like, I can't believe my offense. I hit 14 home runs, and the guy I was playing hit 16. He hasn't hit more than 10 in the last 3 weeks, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, fantasy baseball, it kind of sucks. And then after like the 4th or 5th time of hearing that, he got to play me. I don't think I'd hit more than 7 home runs. Dude, I hit like 21 to his like 19. I didn't come close to getting that again. And just how angry he was. And I was like, dude, I don't know what you did, what fantasy gods you upset. Because it was the whole year. I mean, if he listens to this, I mean, he'll probably remember how many matchups where he lost home runs, where he hit like 18. It's just... Sometimes those happen, but just how like angry he would get, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
it's the fantasy gods, man. They make that decision on their own. There's nothing you can do.
That's how
we've all been on the short end of that.
Every time I play you, basically, it's the same damn thing. Or Dwight, I hate playing both of you because occasionally I have a good week against Dwight.
Okay.
You, it's never. It's never. It honestly isn't. I've said it before. I think I am convinced this is a simulation we're all in because there's just some pattern in the numbers that just say that when my team, whether they're super hot, super cold, it doesn't matter. I play your team and every one of my guys S's the bed, and your team doesn't even have to play great, but you win all the categories. And then like the following week or the week before we played, I would have smoked you. Like, I check it every single time now. And it's...
You need to prove that this is true.
Yes.
That this is actually
like, it's
happening.
just, I know I'm going to play you. I'm like, well, I guess this is just a chance that I hope no one gets hurt because... And where I'm at in the standings, I hope it doesn't affect me too much because I'm going to lose by like 9-2.
Probably.
It's annoying.
Well, I love it. And you kind of answered my question. I was going to ask, is there anybody that you don't like? I guess it's fear is one way of saying. Is there anybody you fear playing in our friends group, or you just don't like playing? I know it's me. I know it's DW.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly because, one, I think you have this, I'm not going to say like air of supremacy. You're like, I'm better, and I do more research, and I know more than you do. I feel like there's a little bit of that.
A lot of it,
but I also think that we're the two that will never stop talking to you
I know.
After we do it.
It just is. And it's just, I mean, it's you. Like, you needle me.
I do.
You know how to get under my skin. Yeah. Like, Dwight... I want to beat Dwight because, I mean, he had that stupid 3-year run that I couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
Jose Fernandez dying couldn't even help me.
Oh, man. Yeah. Jeez. The curse of Jose couldn't even slow him down.
I know. So I get angry because I don't want to see any of my friends win. I want to win every single time.
That's a good competitor in you.
Exactly.
You know who I don't like playing against? I like playing against you just because you get all riled up.
Yeah,
and
sure.
maybe it'll change once you do beat me, but for now, I love seeing it. I do love playing against GW because he's just so freaking wacky, and especially if it's in a high pressure cooker situation, he might just say, "Let's just start our third baseman," or "Let's only start catchers," or just like, "Forget it, it's not even serious. Let's just do this and just have fun with it." So I kind of get a kick out of that. People that I don't know if I'd say fear, but I'm going to say I do. I hate losing to in our league. Yes, I can't stand losing to Burr. That, and I've made this joke before, but I'm starting to think it's new. I swear that she sold her heterosexuality for fantasy greatness.
Agreed.
Because I don't know how she makes all the right decisions at the right freaking time. She did it in football.
Trevor Slow. Or whatever his name is. Yeah.
And it just, I can't fathom it. So if there's one person that every time I'm up against them, I just want to throttle, it's Burr. And Burr, if you're listening, take it as a compliment.
It is.
Because I don't like to see you win, and you always seem to be up there. I forget the last time that Burr's missed the playoffs.
You know what? She went through like a weird stretch within the last couple years where I think she kind of slumped a little bit. And I kind of thought she wasn't maybe paying as much attention. But I think she's missed a couple like baseball playoffs, a couple football. But then she came right back and won football.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-year stretch, like 2 seasons worth. So, but yeah, I think she used to always be like first or second.
Yeah.
She almost always doesn't finish first or second in our leagues anymore. She kind of finishes like
more of a competitive
fourth
balance.
Or fifth,
yeah.
But we'll do damage in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's where I fade.
The other people that I don't fear, but I fear embarrassment, is if I go up against somebody that's
David
not
Bear.
really paying freaking attention, and I'm like, I still freaking lost this guy.
David Bear.
Yeah.
Every single time. Yes. And especially now because he will screenshot our matchup and post it every time. Because, sorry, David, you claim you're always paying attention. Look, I have no life. I am able to pay attention to what you all are doing. You rarely pay attention. It's been like the last 3 years you paid attention. There was 10 years before that you didn't.
But maybe we'll go over some of the after the draft. We can talk about our favorite like draft stories because there's quite a few, and we'll only do a little bit because we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I know.
But one thing that I'll say right now, the other thing that I fear is not so much our friends group, but it's the fear of collusion on draft day. You remember these? Like, I don't know why embarrassing it took me as long as it did to figure it out, maybe 2 or 3 years when I first started initiating. But Dwight would do this thing on draft day where he would get a couple of people to agree with him, unbeknownst to the victim, whoever the victim may be. And I've been the victim multiple times. But he would say, okay, let's all agree. Because, we had a long-standing rule that whoever had the worst pick in the draft had to take a shot of Fighting Cock whiskey. And unbeknownst to me, apparently this was a pre-planned event where they would say, okay, everybody, let's just all agree right after the pick, right after he makes the pick in the 5th or 6th round, Bigo's pick, whatever it is, we all just explode. Oh, worst pick in the draft. Oh, worst pick in the... And I remember it very distinctly being like, this is going to be such a great pick. And then everybody exploding. I was like, what are you talking about? This is a steal. I got this. This guy should have gone to the 3rd round. I got him in the 6th. But majority rules, I had to take a freaking shot.
Predestined to lose.
Predestined to lose. And it took me so freaking long to figure this out. Hey, every horse got across the finish line at some point, my friend. But I started thinking about it because I heard about this other, apparently people are choosing to drink this by choice. I'm going to have to ask you, would you rather take a shot of a horrible whiskey, or would you rather drink a whole ranch dressing milkshake?
Honestly, because it would just be a shot and it would be over with, I'd do that.
I mean, good God,
but both are terrible options.
So apparently, a lot of people don't think so because this ranch dressing milkshake apparently is the new hot S at Great Wolf Lodge. There's a Great Wolf Lodge right there in Williamsburg, right?
Yeah, they're all over the country, aren't they?
But not everywhere is this horrific just monstrosity available, but only in Ohio. Ohio is actually selling a ranch dressing milkshake. It's served with carrots and crispy chicken.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got the chicken in there.
No, but it's
I
a
hate
full
ranch, yeah.
milkshake of ranch. So apparently it's a limited time ranch milkshake, including of course, in Sandusky. Shocker. Love that ranch just going down your gullet. But it serves with crispy chicken, carrot, celery, whipped cream, finished with a sweet, salty lime. But it's an ice cream blend, a vanilla ice cream blend with real ranch dressing in it.
That's so
This
gross.
looks just vomit-inducing. I mean, Great Wolf Lodge. I hear you're great. I've never been there. And apparently you can get it all throughout March. It only costs you $3.10.
You know, I think this is just a ploy because, I mean, there's a better possibility now that either one of us would go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Ohio now than before this story came out.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about this like kooky people that are like Disney adults.
Yeah.
And people that are like, I have to get everything this. If there are like Hidden Valley just obsessors that are just like ranch everything, they're sprinting. Well, not sprinting because they probably have diabetes.
They can't go very
but
fast.
they're taking their rascals as fast as they can over to that Great Wolf Lodge in Ohio to just guzzle this ranch dressing milkshake.
It's got to be something where like it'd have to be within like our friend group. Say we went there for like our Baltimore trip. And it's like the funny thing to do, right? Is to like have
this might be your March Madness punishment. I'm gonna make you drink a ranch dressing milkshake.
It's actually not a bad one because I would not look forward to it. But yes, it's like that. Does anyone actually get it because they want it, or is it because they want to have like that experience, or make someone else drink it? You know, like,
yeah, I think we've known each other for too long in our friend group. We automatically assume, yeah, it's a goof drink. We're gonna order it just to punish our friends.
Yeah.
Because that sounds absolutely
it's like,
freaking
oh, yeah,
disgusting.
buddy, you know what, man? Thanks for picking up the tab the other night. You know what, Len? Let me get you a
Let me
drink.
get you a drink,
I actually already talked to the waitress.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's a hot summer day.
It's coming on over. Why don't you just finish and chug your beer real quick, you know, and then you'll just have this milkshake. Yeah.
Ranch dressing. I can't stand ranch dressing anyways.
I'll take it over blue cheese, though. I hate blue cheese.
You hate blue cheese?
I do.
So with your wings, you're taking ranch over blue cheese?
If I had a choice, yes. That's why I have to get like them nice and like a big flavor, like a garlicky Parmesan.
Yeah, garlic parm's the wing to go with.
Because I don't feel like I would need any other sauce to kind of go.
So you're not
it.
So you don't need something to cool the palate, because the blue cheese and the ranch are good for like the hot spicy wings. So you're steering clear of the hot spicy. You're going for more of the sweet savory wings. Which
kind of stinks because there's a couple flavors that are, I can't think of one of them now, but it's always like super spicy. But it's like a honey glaze or something, but it's always spicy honey glaze. I'm like, oh, I would rather just like to have it, but
I'd rather just like to have it.
But I don't want my mouth to be on. You guys are crazy when you guys do like that flatliner challenge.
I never did that. What was it called? Like Route 60? Are you talking about this like Williamsburg diner that?
No, this was a place up in like Northern Virginia.
I would not go near. I don't understand the point of drinking spicy foods that are so spicy. It's just uncomfortable to eat. Eating is supposed to be a joy. Why am I punishing myself?
Oh yeah, it's like that Jiffy Lube or lube, whatever.
Yeah, lube.
They like stab the chicken wing and then like douse it in the fire basically, and then they're like, "Here you go, enjoy."
I'm like, those words don't work. Enjoy. How am I supposed to enjoy this?
My mouth. I'm not going to feel my mouth for like 3 days.
Yeah.
How is this enjoyable?
It's like a long weekend with Seaburn. I'm not going to feel my mouth for 3 days.
Long weekend, I can't even last an evening.
Oh, easy there, cowboy. Well, that obviously isn't overhyped, but can you think? We'll do a real quick snippet on the fantasy baseball before we move forward. Anybody that you're avoiding with a 10-foot pole? Anybody that you think's overhyped? Are you going pitcher first round?
Look. Well, I kind of want to look. I'm so anti-pitcher. I tried to do a mock draft where I drafted a pitcher in like the first round.
You're like forcing yourself to. It's like I
just gotta see like how's it look?
How's my team look after I do that?
I'm so out of whack. Like I just need to draft like
it just throws
hitters.
You completely.
It does. Like I'm so used to now like how I draft and where I look at guys. This throws me off way too much. But I don't think pitcher. Personally, I do the way I do it because I just don't value a pitcher like I do a hitter because they pitch once a week.
Yeah.
And a hitter, so like a first round pitcher, I know they're great, obviously, but these guys are playing 6 days a week and can literally win you a whole week.
Yeah.
The pitcher, he could still throw a gem, but if two of your relievers get shelled, then all of that was for nothing, and they get one start, so it's like one win. I'm like, okay, like, but you still have to have 6 more days of pitchers going, and it's just one little win.
Well, not only that, I feel like even the ace pitchers, the ones that are clocking 100 miles on the gun, they're obviously a lot more likely to get freaking hurt.
That too.
I do not want a guy that my first round pick, I'm going to avoid injury as much as humanly possible. I don't want a pitcher that could get Tommy John in 2 months.
There was like last year, I remember, because I almost got a pitcher. There was like a round where there was like Cole Reagans, like that Pablo guy from the Twins. There was like 4
Pablo
or 5...
Francisco? I love him. What a great comedian.
He's great.
Yeah.
There were like 4 or 5 guys that were kind of in this area where, you weren't going to get Skeens or Skubal. These guys were pretty good here. And like 4 of the 5 got hurt within like the first month, and they were all out for the season. Yep. I was like, well, thank God I didn't go and get like any of them, because not saying that like the hitter I got might have been any better, but it was just like that was would have been a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to draft I'll never draft a pitcher in the first round.
I'll never say never. If by some ridiculousness that Skeens or Skubal drops me at like 8 or later or 9 or 10, I almost feel like obligated. I have to take them. You know why? Because even if I don't really want them, I can just trade him to Will Billy for like or King's Ransom.
That is true. Oh, not a bad idea.
There you go. So you got the wheels turn right there.
I was like, maybe if I was like 12th, maybe I would. But I was like, no, I'd just go grab some. I've got guys in the 20s I'm looking to get after. I'll just take them.
Well, so I think it's fair to say that all pitchers are overhyped in your regard when it comes to drafting. Any batters that you're like, I'm not going to ask for your sleepers. I'm not trying to get too much ahead. But how about your overhyped? Anybody that you're steering
Michael
clear of?
Harris. Why? Yeah. Why is he still... I don't understand a guy that's supposed to bat 270, steal 15 bases, hit 15 home runs. Why is that a top 80 player?
It's not.
Same with like that Jackson Merrill. If you look at like what he's projected to hit, 260, 70 RBIs, 20 steals, 22 home runs, I'm like that. I could find some guy like that in round 13. Yeah. Why is this guy going in round 6? Like the potential's there. He could have a bomb year. But if that's what you're kind of projecting at, that's just as good as like I made the mistake last year. I took like that Matt McClain guy.
Yes.
And in hindsight, I'm like, so he might have been a 300 hitter and maybe a 20-20 guy.
That's at ceiling.
Yeah.
That's ceiling.
And that was like a 6th round. I think I reached for him in like the 6th or 7th round, where I could have found a guy in the 14th round, Isaac Paredes, I guess, that could have done just as good a job.
Hey, I had Isaac Paredes.
He's a good pick.
Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago.
I also think like Nico Horner.
Okay.
Like
for the Cubbies.
High average, gets you some steals, maybe a little bit of runs, but I'm like, I feel like I could find some diamond in the rough way down there where I could probably get a decent pitcher. You could maybe get like a power hitting outfielder at that point, and you're just going to get some little, like, it's not like Bryce Terang who's going to steal you like 40 bags.
Jimbo's so mad at me last year when I grabbed Bryce Terang.
Who would have thought he would have had his best offensive year ever?
I mean, a guy almost hit 20 home runs. This guy hit 5 the year prior.
I couldn't believe that. Of course, I still can't believe, and I'm probably gonna. I mean, I'm a Mike Trout guy.
Yes, you are.
He's way down there. The second you drafted him last year, I mean, Dwight beat me to it, but I was getting ready to message Dwight because we just like, well, that's MVP. Like, he's going to have comeback player of the year. Like, Brandon took him. I was going to get ready to take him too. Like, you took him right before me. But I was like, well, that's it. He's going to have an MVP. Like, because that's just seems to be what you do.
That's what I do. Well, you were wrong with Mike Trout, but you were right about Cal Raleigh.
Oh, my God.
Because I picked him up last year. Got him super late in the draft. That's who's overhyped for me, is Cal Raleigh. Because somebody's going to take him in the 3rd round. A catcher in the 3rd round.
Dude, he's going...
It's probably second.
He's going second. Early in the second
way
round.
Too high. I understand what he did last year. I understand more than most because he was on my freaking team. But you can't predict that again for a catcher?
No. But maybe you don't even... Maybe it's just one of those... So catcher's one of those... What if you just get a really good catcher and you're done? And you don't have to worry about it the rest of the year.
Just do what Will Billy does, and if he had his way, he wouldn't even draft. He wouldn't even have a catcher on his team.
I know he's tried it many a times. I tried it briefly.
That's insane. I understand. It's like, well, I could do my average, but it's like you have an extra slot of a bat that could get you the 3 hits you need, the 5 RBIs that you need.
That's what I ran into.
The 3 walks that you need. Just put them in. If it sacrifices one category, but it saves others.
The second I was barely losing a category, I was like, I just got to pick a catcher.
But I'm fine. Will Billy's not going to listen to this episode until after the draft, so I know what he's going to. He's going to just skip on catcher again, and that's fine with me. No problem. No harm, no foul. But Will might be skipping out on some free agents, if you will, but the NFL free agency is in full throttle. We'll get to, just a flurry of moves on not even the first 24 hours, in the first 12 of the non-tampering. And I got something to say.
Yo, go ahead.
And I think you're agreeing with this. It's like, you can't tell me that they haven't been tampering away all freaking winter, that all of a sudden they all miraculously have all these deals into place the minute the clock hits.
The minute.
Like 8 a.m. or whenever it opens up. Like, they have all of this taken care of.
Yes.
Non-tampering my butthole.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have us talking about any of this.
Because you didn't think it was going to move so fast.
Not like this. No.
Not like this.
I thought maybe by the beginning of next week we'd know things that happened over the weekend, but I didn't realize that Monday was just going to be the
Manic Monday?
Manic
Monday.
Yeah, and it's just where everybody seemed to go. It just seemed pretty obvious the league knew, I think, where everybody was going.
Say, we're all in agreement here. We're just going to do this. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid off, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations to DW, Malik Willis, going to the Dolphins. Sure, he's super pumped about that. I'm jumping ahead. I'm getting ahead of my skis. Before the non-tampering, there were some big trades that came out right before the free agency technically opened up. Let's talk about the McDuffie trade real quick. Now, for the barely paying attention NFL fans out there, they might even know who McDuffie is, the corner from the Chiefs getting traded to the Rams. But the Rams are doing the Rams thing that they did when they won their Super Bowl. Yeah. They're like, F those picks.
Yeah.
And they traded a first-rounder. Two first-rounders for McDuffie. Is that guy worth 2 first-rounders?
For what they're looking to do and what they did today, loved it. But I don't know. Look, the Chiefs, I know they were vindicated by the contract that McDuffie signed. But honestly, I think the Chiefs, like many teams, you kind of have a position that you just don't value as much. And, they let that other corner go to the Titans. I can't remember now. So they don't seem to really value corners as much because they just seem to always draft well. And your boy, D coordinator, Spagnuolo can seem to coach him up. But I want to be honest, you're going to pay McDuffie that kind of money. I hate it because we talk how much I hate about how Zach Wilson's one throw got him drafted and Anthony Richardson's one play in college. But CeeDee Lamb burned Trent McDuffie 6 or 7 times last year. Bad.
I remember that Thanksgiving game. Yeah.
Was it Thanksgiving? Maybe close to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But burnt him really bad all game long. And if you sit there and you think, so you're supposed to be my slot corner. First of all, I'm going to pay how much for a slot corner?
Slot corner.
But then when you get up on a guy that's this, talented, thinking of the playoffs, you got burnt bad. So I thought it was a win-win because I think the Rams can build around him. But the Rams getting that Watson guy from the Chiefs as well today.
But they got him for no picks. This is what drives me nuts with that. This not only did they trade away 2 first-rounders for McDuffie, but then they had to turn around and pay the guy too. I know. I've never been a proponent for this. And last year, the Packers did this with Parsons. They gave away the farm, and then they gave him a huge freaking contract. And I worry about that because you just sacrifice some draft picks that you could get them at the rookie contract level.
Yeah.
Save you some of that money that you're spending on this guy, but you give up those picks and you give too much money. What happens? They can't afford Rashawn Gary anymore. So Rashawn Gary goes to the freaking Cowboys because they can't pay him both.
No. Yeah, it's Well, the Rams obviously won with this plan before. So I guess they're just going to try to go to that well one more time.
Just sacrifice. We finally got our first-round picks back. Let's continue to trade them away.
And I don't understand. I guess you're just going to have to hope and pray that you guys continue to draft well in second, third, and fourth rounds. But that's a
gamble.
That is a big gamble. And I was thinking it's like you got away with it once. Got like the Jared Verse, a couple like Landman, a couple other defenders. I don't know if you're going to bank on that again.
But some other big trades. I mentioned the Gary to the Cowboys trade. Cowboys and Packers just love each other. They're just trading DMs back and forth. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, new butt buddies. And then we got obviously the big one, right? We got Max Crosby going to your beloved Ravens that you love oh so much. Ill Will's just can't keep in his pants, let you know how excited he is.
Oh, he was on cloud nine.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. How could you not be?
I know. Everybody wanted him.
The Ravens are probably, I hate them, but it's just out of respect. They do so well in the draft, free agency, developing guys. It's so annoying that they got this, but it's such a Ravens thing to do. Perfect player, and it just seems like the timing. Like, of course, what all-pro that's still decently young, they don't come out every single year, but what do the Ravens need? Oh, a defensive end that's in their prime that the team that he's on doesn't want him. Everyone knows that
he's
so they're not agitated. So you're not going to get as much for him. So the Ravens didn't give up but so much for him.
I mean, they did give away 2 firsts.
They did.
And there was a story out there that the Cowboys were offering a first and a second for Crosby.
Yeah.
So Ravens did one up them. But let's do apples to apples. Trent McDuffie, slot corner, 2 first-round picks. Max Crosby, all-pro.
Exactly, that's
one
of
the best pass rushers in the game, 2 first-rounders. Pretty sure the Ravens made the better deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Ravens come out winners in almost every single deal that they make. They got Derrick Henry for, like, nothing. And, of course, what did they need? They needed a running back to help out, like, Lamar Jackson. And who is available? Like, one of the greatest of all time. It's like, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I mean, the one thing that they just can't get right, though, is wide receivers. Zay Flowers is great in itself, but he's not a 1. He's a 2. He's probably a great 2, but a not so great 1. No. That's just the one position they just can't figure out. But speaking of wide receivers, hey, congratulations. Your Steelers finally gave DK a little bit of support with the Michael Pittman trade.
I will gladly take it.
And they didn't have to give too much for him.
No, late 6th or 7th round draft pick for him.
I mean, just that's a steal.
Agreed.
I've always liked Michael Pittman. Felt for him for having Anthony Richardson thrown to him.
I know.
Carson Wentz thrown to him. Matt Ryan.
And still managed to do okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But, Alec Pierce was the belle of the ball this year, and he was just apparently chopped liver.
That's the most... your Commanders guy might be the most overrated for the amount that he's getting paid. Him or Alec Pierce, man.
Who? McLaurin?
No, Owa.
Oh, yeah, we would talk about that.
Yeah, but yeah, Alec Pierce getting like $119 million.
I mean, that guy is just I know he's a deep threat, but I haven't seen anything but 9s from this guy. I don't know if you're going to, smart move, paying him like a 1.
But Deshaun Jackson put up numbers.
That's true.
Highlights. Yeah, but Alec Pierce hasn't done that.
No.
Deshaun Jackson maybe should. That's the type of guy that gets that contract. He's done it. He's shown it, like, consistently. If you ask me who Alec Pierce played for, I probably would have guessed the Colts, but I don't really, I didn't superly know. I didn't really see much of him. And yes, his quarterbacks have not been great, but then it's like, but if you can't have anyone throwing him the ball, then why are you paying him so much money when maybe you need a lot of other things?
Yeah, Alex Pierce, he just, talk about like best position there, but the only wide receiver out there that was better that was available was put on the non-exclusive tag in George Pickens. So he by default was the best wide receiver available, and he got a lion's share of the money because of it.
And that's the kind of things I want, like, the Baltimore Ravens to do. Overpay for some guy for a position that you're in need of, yet it just never seems to be the position that they're in. And power to them. Once again, I think it's certain situations, but I don't think you'd see the Ravens do that. They just say, we're not paying that much for this guy because it's not worth it. Because they could have been like, we need a wide receiver. Let's go get this Alec Pierce guy. But they're like, no, we're just going to have to stick it out with who we've got. And maybe they'll draft somebody. They've got that plan. But they're not going to overvalue guys because they're what's on the market.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about guys getting picked up or traded. We did have a few surprising or not so surprising releases. Let's pour one out for Stefon Diggs, man. No longer. I know Todd is just devastated by the news, but no longer a New England Patriot.
It's been a rough month for
him. Yeah. Not only did he get released, but he broke up with his boo. Apparently, you're the one who gave me this information. I thought they were match made in heaven. Those two.
Did you really?
No,
I think it lasted a lot longer than anyone would have put on their bingo card, which is like a year, I think.
And Cardi B, baby.
Cardi B. Yep. I guess that he just wasn't as mature as she was looking for, wasn't as good of a father figure around her other kids. That's on you, Cardi B. I'm sorry.
Maybe he just didn't know how to roll his R's the way she wanted him to. Like, he couldn't do that, so she's like, you cannot do this. Say that, then we can't be together. But yeah, so Steph Diggs broke up with the Patriots, broke up with Cardi B.
I think they broke up like the day before the Super Bowl as well, which might attribute to his poor play.
Yeah, heartbroken Stefon Diggs.
It's hard to go out.
Well, before we go into, he won't be heartbroken very long if he wants to, because there's always Tinder, there's always Bumble and all that stuff, but he is going to have to shell out a few more shekels. Did you hear about Tinder starting to charge people more if you're of a certain age?
I think that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so apparently Tinder, if you're like, they're really just aging me out. I was like, thank goodness I'm married and I'm happily married, but because apparently Tinder is like, okay, if you've eclipsed that 29-year mark, you're damaged goods.
Yeah.
So at 30 or older, we're going to start charging you more.
I can't believe that.
To use our services. It's not the free. And again, this maybe I'm dating myself with the Tinder stuff. I always thought Tinder was free. Apparently, you pay more for like getting more swipes or more likes, or there's like super likes, and then there's like extra time on bios or all sorts of crazy crud I have no idea about.
That makes perfect sense. I'm not surprised by that.
But they're like, oh, but if you're over 30, yikes. We want the youngins here. We'll give it to them a little bit less. You, because you're getting up there, you got a few grays, we're going to have to start charging you more.
It's like they want to still maintain that they're just like the hookup site, which is weird because I feel like they just want to try to get as many people as possible. But yeah, they're kind of saying, well, when you're over 30, I mean, I guess that's what they're saying, is that you don't really just want like one night stands. So go to eHarmony, go to Big Fish, Small Fish. I don't know what the name of something
Big Fish, Small Fish. What is Dr. Seuss has a dating app now? I had no idea.
He was kind of a skeevy guy.
Was he? I want to hear your deep dark secrets about Dr. Seuss now. No, but yeah, apparently this picked up steam, and nobody even knew about this, but apparently Tinder recently had to agree to pay a $60.5 million settlement in a class action lawsuit accusing discriminating against certain users by charging them more. Again, they violated state law by charging people aged 29 or older more for premium subscriptions like Tinder Plus and Tinder Gold. What's Tinder Gold? Compared to younger users. According to the complaint, Tinder used a tiered pricing model that offered cheaper rates for younger users while older customers paid significantly more for the same features. The only thing I have a file on Tinder is my most successful Tinder time, and I think my wife knows this. Okay. She doesn't listen anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Was not of my own doing. I was terrible. I hated the dang thing. When I was single, I was like, this is dumb. Why can't I just meet someone? I was, maybe we're of a different ilk, we're of a different generation where it's like, I'm better in person. I think you would agree that I'm better in person than I am just over phone. I'm very more flamboyant.
Yeah,
and I'm bouncing
you
around.
Do a lot with your hands. Yes. It distracts a lot.
I'm like one of those lure fish that you love that has the shining light on them that just draws the fish like that. But on Tinder, the only time I ever got a successful interaction was when I was on a trip and Dwight was there, and I would literally hand on the phone. I'd match with somebody, say whatever you want.
Yes.
Say whatever you want, and some of the stuff he would say, I can't repeat.
No. But man, it attracts quite the audience.
Yeah, it did. I'll never forget one. And this one I can share. He matched with somebody, and on her bio, it mentioned where she went to school. And I forget what it was, but he mentioned something like, he was like, I don't think he read her bio, and he was just like, I'm an owl. Hoo, what animal are you? And she's like, oh my God, I went to Temple. I'm an owl too. Like, tell me about this. And I was like, how did that freaking work?
Wow.
And he entered the bio. He was just like, first thing that came to my head. So if DW ever wanted to be kind of a Tinder savant, like, you remember that movie Hitch?
Yeah.
He could be like the Hitch of Tinder.
He'd slay on
completely.
Tinder.
He could charge a fee. Don't worry about it. I'll write her something. She'll come right and running. And he had a pretty good success rate, unlike him at the roulette table. Success rate on Tinder, yes.
Yeah, those were, I don't, now with all the different tiers, I don't know what I would do if I was, because I kind of,
we've been out of the game. We've been out of the game.
So I don't think where do you go to meet somebody? And if you can't do it online, what am I going to do? Yeah. Hope to be in the grocery store and just like bring my cart around and like hope to
just
bump
crash
into
and say, hey, you both.
Like as I see like
you both got the same protein powder in your carts.
I know that's the thing. You got to like scope around. Like, what does she have in there? Like green beans and broccoli. Okay, green beans and broccoli. Hit them. It's like, oh, we making the same meal tonight?
You just slide over here.
It's Stir Friday, right?
You ever do like stupid pickup lines with your wife when you're at the grocery store? Yes. Like pretend you don't. My favorite with my wife is we'll go in different aisles and I'll be like, excuse me. She's like, don't do it. Like, she knows right away. She's like, please don't. And I'll say something that's like, yeah, I'm a little lost. Do you know which aisle I can find your phone number? You guys can use that one. It's a perfect one. It's an icebreaker, courtesy of Bigo. Feel free.
It's one of those where like it's so corny that, if the girl is somewhat interested.
Or if she at least has a sense of humor.
I know.
That's what sucks is that, it just feels like people have less of a sense of humor these days.
Well, and that's one of a little article I was kind of reading was like, yeah, men now, it's like, back in the day, it was, and I do sometimes feel bad for like the girls go out. Like sometimes they probably just want to go out and dance with their girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, you go out to these clubs or bars, and it's like just kind of the wild out there, and it's like guys are going to come up to you. Like that's just kind of what happens. Like that's how you meet each other. Like guy finds you attractive, you hopefully find them attractive, and they come up and they give you their best line, and then you go from there maybe. But now it's like guys are scared to because they're like assuming that this person wants to sleep with you or assuming this, or they're annoying you, and they, got to come up and almost be like, is it okay if I say like a one-line joke to you right now? Like, so
do
I
have your permission?
Yeah, so they're like, we don't know what to do because we don't feel like you can say anything anymore without like being offensive. So it's just, I don't know. Like the women must need to they need to have like a little stoplight that like is above their head. That's like,
red light.
Green means I'm willing to get hit on. Bring it on, boys.
God, no girl would ever have a green light. All girls would be red. All girls would be red lights. It would just be blinding like a laser pointer. I can't say anything. No, clubs are the worst, man. Are you kidding me? You can't hear. I'm already deaf, and I'm like, do you want to dance? And like, why are you screaming at me? I can't hear anything. I'm sorry. A lot of red flags out there. Another one that had a red flag, before we get into best available, because I do want to talk about this, we had some troubled NFL players that kind of hit the stage. Talk about red lights. Myles Garrett doesn't know what a freaking red light is. I didn't realize he had built up quite the
rap sheet.
Yes. Apparently he saw how fast Chloe Kim was going on the half pipe, his lady, and he's like, I'll do you one better. 9th speeding ticket in the last 9 years?
If not less than that. It might even be like 6 years.
That's insane.
How does he still have a license?
He's
Myles Garrett. He's in Ohio.
Yeah. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Sack leader.
Ohio, they really do care about their sports so much that they will just let anybody off.
Or they're just fast and loose. They're giving away ranch milkshakes. They're letting their football players drive 140 nonstop.
That's why the kids are like, that's so Ohio.
Is that what the kids are saying?
They used to. I don't know if they do anymore, but that was a saying. Yeah, and it wasn't a good thing.
No, it sounds terrible. Yeah. They're like the Florida of the Midwest.
They are.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Ooh, Florida and Ohio in like a
like a state like Florida man versus Ohio man,
like the SEC Big Ten challenge.
Dude, I think we got something here.
That's must see TV.
Let's make this happen.
I'm gonna watch the Florida man.
If they put that on the Ocho, I would watch it every year.
I was watching. Speaking of the Ocho, I was watching that stupid. I hate it sometimes because they all look like me. They look like us, like just like nerdy, unassumingly athletic, like white guys. But it's that stupid game. It's like slap ball.
Oh yeah, slam ball. Yeah.
But it's what makes it even worse is that like so these guys. It was colleges. It was like Georgia versus Texas A&M or something. They're really good, and it makes it it's not fun to watch because most of the time it's kind of like sometimes like tennis. Big servers, like it's all how they like serve it, I guess. Yeah. So like half the time,
it's like one shot and it's done.
That's it.
There's no volley. There's no back and forth.
There was none of that. It was like if somehow the serve got like returned, then that team that returned it, it's kind of like volleyball in that way. Like if you serve it and the other team is able to like get like control of it and go back and like spike it, like typically it's going to be their point. So that's what kind of happened. Like either you got the serve in. And if you didn't, then the other team would score. And it just kind of went back and forth like that. So you had all these guys trying to do like these super specific serves that just weren't working. It was actually very boring to watch, but I was like...
That's why it's on the Ocho.
You see some like cool like athletic plays, like they kind of like fake like they're going to slap it one way and then hit it with the back of their hand or something, which was kind of cool. But I was like, this looks like it could have been something I would have gotten into. And I was like, I look so nerdy.
Well, it sounds like you're missing a lot of returns on this slam ball. Apparently, so does Robert Incomdice. I'm bringing it back to football, man. You're going off on a tailspin.
I'm sorry.
But we got another troubled, I guess he's an ex-NFL player, Robert Incomdice. You remember this guy?
I was so into him in high school.
Yeah. He went to Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Ole Miss. This is how I remember Robert Incomdice, because when you told me about this story, I was like, isn't that the guy? And I read the story and I realized it was. You remember this guy, he was like high on weed and he was at a hotel party or something like that, and the cops came and he jumped from a 4-story balcony. This guy already cheated death and he doesn't know how good he has it because he decided to, I guess we're calling it a Jameis Winston?
Yes, might as well.
Got caught at a gas station. Well, he was at a Kroger, and then he got caught at a gas station, and they just said he had a bunch of bulky items.
Like frozen food?
In his pants.
Yes, in his pants. I couldn't help but just... I mean, at least Jameis Winston was getting, like, crab legs, like some expensive-ass stuff. Like, he just was putting in, like, a frozen...
This guy was, like, in the freaking NFL for 8 years, and he's succumbed to having to steal frozen foods at a Kroger?
It was one of those where I read that, like, Kroger, they didn't want to press charges, but they just wanted to give him, like, a... You know, like, you can't... That's kind of the thing you do.
Yeah, it's like you can't trespass
anymore. Because it's just... It's almost one of those, like, if I saw him do that, if I recognized him, my first instinct, if it's the first time, I'd be like, I guess you need this. You must really be hurting after that NFL career. I'd hate to be the guy that comes up to you, like, in my work gear and is like, dude, sir, what are you doing?
Do you got Eggos in your pants? What?
I felt sorry for him at first. And then it's like you read all these different things. He's got all these other warrants out for his arrest. I'm like,
this isn't a first offense.
You had it all, man. You literally could have been like a Hall of Famer in the league. And
so much talent. So much talent coming out of high school. So much talent coming out of college.
Yeah.
Never got it together, but still, you were in the league for 8 years. You could have squirreled some of that cash away, man.
I know. You just would have hoped that he would have ran into somebody on one of these teams that would have, like, gotten him in at least a decent direction. But, man, no, because you're out of the league a couple years and you're just putting whatever you can down your pants. Not even concealing it, not even making it seem like it's something that, like, I don't know, you're not just trying to, like, take something out of, like, a supplement out of the box and put it in your pocket thinking that the box would set off an alarm. Those people are so stupid.
That sounds like you've got some personal experience in this.
Quite a bit, yes.
Well, see, this is why I can't take this seriously. If I was the arresting cop, I couldn't help but say something along the lines, is that a frozen baguette in your pants? Or are you just happy to see me? Something stupid. It's like, but you're under arrest. So, there's that. So he will not be a free agent that gets re-signed. I'm going to put my money on that. But we still got a few. I mean, we talked about it a couple of times. So much movement on that first day. Alex Pierce re-signing with the Colts. Shaheed re-signing with the Seahawks quarterbacks. I mean, I just love that it stayed in the family. Tua went from DW's team to Ill Will's team, and I'm just so glad. I'm so glad it stayed in the family. And then just to add insult to injury, Dwight gets Malik Willis, who, again, talk about just a poor free agency draft or class for quarterbacks. He was the number one quarterback that was available. Malik Willis.
Was he?
That's what people are saying.
Well, I mean, the guy that was drafted above him in the draft, he was also available as a free agent, and he signed.
Oh, really going to put Kenny Pickett in there?
He's a Carolina Panther now.
Okay, well, congratulations for being third string behind Andy Dalton in the Panthers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if Malik Willis is the best free agent quarterback, that's weak.
That's weak. But congratulations, DW, for having that number one free agent quarterback on your team. Paid a pretty penny for him, too. Congratulations.
For a guy that's
throwing like 25 freaking passes.
I just have the thought of, because it's from the same team, what was his name? Matt Flynn.
Yes. Oh, to this day. We were talking about this in the other one. Well, that really worked out for the Seahawks.
I know.
So, Jimbo's just going to be cracking up. He's like, yeah, you take him. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, big one, Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. I mean, that team automatically now looks dangerous once again.
They just went back to being the AFC favorites, I think.
Super Bowl MVP going to a stacked Mahomes. I mean, Kelsey's coming back for 1 year. That seems like a footnote now.
It does. It still helps them, I guess, with everything. Like, I mean, he's good in the locker room. It's good to have him. And, they've got Bieniemy back as, like, their offensive coordinator, right?
Yes.
Oh, what happened?
We got a new update. The guy that I wanted that was left on the running back market, Rico Dowdle, apparently is signing with the freaking Steelers.
We lost Kenneth Gainwell, upgraded to Rico Dowdle.
Terrible.
Steelers might have maybe won free agency. We got Dean.
You did get Jamel Dean, number one corner DB out right now for sure. You got Rico Dowdle, which I honestly thought was probably going to be, for bang for your buck, probably the best running back available on free agency, because he wasn't going to cost you what the Kenneth Walkers or even Travis Etienne, who went to the Saints,
$100 million
for
contract.
$52 million for 4 years, crazy. But Rico just got signed. Dang it, that was going to be my next talk about it. I was like, when you said who do you want the Commanders to look at, I was looking at Rico. God. Algier going to the freaking Cardinals. I mean, I don't know. That could be a nothing burger right there. And then when you talk about tight ends, Isaiah Likely going to the Giants.
Going back with John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Smart.
Running it back. And then, Hendrickson's still out there, dude.
That's by far the biggest name. And that could be like a Kenneth Walker type signing wherever he goes. It could completely elevate a team. Or he just goes to like Arizona and takes a bunch of money. I don't know.
Yeah. So Rico Dowdle was in this list because as of our beginning recording, he was still available. But I want to go over what we think, maybe not the top free agent guys left out there, but guys that have some buzz to their name still. And let's do a little quick predictions on real quick where we think they're going to go. First off, I got to start with the enigma that is a puzzle, that is a riddle, that is Kyler Murray. Where do you got Kyler Murray? He's still available.
I know.
Where do you got him playing in 2026?
I have heard nothing but the Minnesota Vikings. But I think where he should go, and I really like it, Los Angeles Rams.
Really?
Yes.
Kyler Murray to the Rams.
Back up with Stafford for at least 1 year. Get him in that system. I think I talked about it before. Kyler Murray, when you're the number one pick and they just build an offense, you don't know what it's like to be a quarterback in the NFL. Baker Mayfield style. Like, go to a team that's got Matthew Stafford, like Baker did. Maybe it turns him around. maybe he learns, and then he could be a bargain as an NFL starter if Stafford retires. And if it doesn't work out, then maybe you did pay money for nothing. But the talent is there. I just got to see if someone can get him to have like the work ethic. Which, by the way, I want to say that letter that he wrote leaving the Cardinals. First of all, he's like the most. Him and Russell Wilson might be the most fake people. Because do you remember when Kyler Murray came out of the draft? I actually watched it live. It did make some headlines, but he was on the Dan Patrick show. And his dad was off the set. And Dan Patrick would just he'd almost ask him, "What'd you have for breakfast this morning?" And Kyler would like look over at his dad, and his dad would like, you couldn't hear what he said.
Like, wheeze!
But it was like, and then finally Dan Patrick was like, "Dad, do you want to come over here and answer the questions?" They're such a calculated family. That statement that he made, "I tried my hardest. I wanted to bring a
hear
championship."
It in Kyler's voice,
that's so not. I get it when you say farewell. It's kind of like all this like touchy feely stuff, but it's like that's the one didn't believe a single thing was truthful from him at all. It was just, we got to say this statement to say this statement. So I think he needs a reality check. I think he needs to go to a team with like a Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Matthew Stafford probably would not be afraid to be like, "Dude, you ain't going to make it, man. Like, if you don't follow me, if you don't do at least half the things I do, you ain't going to make it, and go play baseball." Like, I think he needs someone to actually legit tell him, "You're not that good, and you need to actually, like, try."
Yeah. See, I think you're thinking too logically here. You're thinking like, okay, let's try and find the best way to still right the ship for you.
Yeah.
Zero chance Kyler Murray goes somewhere where he doesn't have an opportunity to be the starter. Zero chance. So I appreciate that mindset. Kyler Murray is going to the New York Jets. He's going to be the New York Jets quarterback. Right. They're going to take what they do with Justin Fields. They're like, let's just find a little bit better version of Justin Fields, and we're going to bring it back. Aaron Glenn is probably like, yeah, Kyler Murray can do it. I know he can do it. Kyler Murray to the Jets. I'm going to look for just more chaos in that locker room. They're going to take a guy that Justin Fields, at least he seemed like a consummate professional, and he was trying his hardest. He was just limited.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, not limited, but not a professional. So they're going to go in the complete opposite direction.
I was going to say, I would hope that, so that any of these rookies coming out next year don't have a chance. But New York is going to swallow up Kyler Murray. He's literally too small to play in New York.
That's where he's going. Kyler Murray, Jets. I'm calling it right now.
I'm going to say the Vikings.
Okay. All right. Now let me go first on the next one. We'll go me first and then you. So the next one, Kirk Cousins. All right? Oh, Kirk Cousins. He's finally released from the Falcons. There's plenty of areas that he could go to. You know, I know that the Cardinals just got Gardner Minshew, but is he going to be their guy? I don't know. But no, I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to the Cardinals, although I could see that. I see, sadly, a coming back home moment with Kirk Cousins. He's going back to the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins back to the Vikings. O'Connell's like, I made a huge mistake. And I'm bringing Cousins back. Maybe it's a Band-Aid. Maybe McCarthy can learn under Cousins. Maybe they can challenge. Maybe it's going to be a quarterback competition to start out with. I feel like Kirk, they released him, and he got the bag. So I don't think Kirk's looking for that next big contract because he's still getting paid on that last one that the Falcons gave him. So I think that he'd rather, at this point, go back to somewhere where he has a chance to win, a place he's familiar with, a scheme that he's familiar with. Justin Jefferson would welcome him back with open arms.
Definitely.
So Kirk Cousins back to the Vikings. I could see that really happening. Second close, I maybe the Cardinals, but I got Kirk Cousins going to the Vikings. Where you got Kirky going?
I think for all the reasons that you thought that Kyler would go to the Jets are why Kirk Cousins should go to the Jets. Kirk can handle that market. Kirk is a professional. They've already tried Justin Fields. They've already tried a Kyler Murray. So now they're going to go with old reliable.
Reliable.
You know he's at least going to play the part, look the part. On field might not be great, but I don't know. I think they tried Aaron Rodgers. The injury, I do feel bad. I think the injury Achilles
Yeah,
really
through the
derailed
whole thing.
It just did. I actually will always kind of give a little asterisk to the Jets because I think if Aaron Rodgers played halfway decent, that was a good team. But then, so they went from standard quarterback, then they went to mobile quarterback. Now they're going to go back to standard.
All right.
Plus, I think Kyler's attitude, and plus the height, and he's just not a runner anymore. I honestly don't think he's that good. I don't think he should be a starter in the league. I think the Vikings would be smart to go elsewhere. I think any team looking for a starter, draft one. Don't get Kyler Murray. Seriously,
it's a bad quarterback draft, my friend.
Wait for next year. You don't. That's what I hate. That's why I hate the fact that the Colts. Why did you pay Pierce so much money?
And then they gave freaking Daniel Jones, who's recovering from an Achilles. They got him on the tender. What are you doing?
I get it that the pressure is there to win, but seriously, not every team wins every year. Some years it's just not going to be your year. I'm sorry, when the Commanders, it was, what was it, Rex Grossman or John Beck? Did you really think any of those teams had a chance? So if you're the Indianapolis Colts, now they did have, they had a decent record. So think of another thing, the Vikings. Are you really going to get there? Is it worth going and paying Kyler Murray, what if you don't think he's really going to be that good, but you're we feel like we have to? No, you don't.
No.
I'm sorry.
Kyler's not going to, like I said, it's not going to be Kyler. It's going to be Kirky. As much as I'd love, I'm still holding out hope that Rodgers completes the Favre trifecta.
You've got this love for guys going back to Minnesota.
So bad. No, I just want to see the trifecta completed. I want to see the Packers to Jets to Vikings. Now, he had a stopover in Pittsburgh. That's fine. But all signs point to him going back. They got stupid Mike McCarthy to coach.
No, I know.
So, yeah. All right. Moving on. You get to go first on this one. Let's start with Hendrickson. All right. Best defensive player left out there in free agency. Trey Hendrickson. Who's he going to go play for?
I've seen a lot linking the Cowboys, but I don't know if they have the cap room.
I don't think they do anymore.
I think if he wants to win, and he does want to get paid.
He does want to get paid, and he wants to win.
He can do both. He can play for the Hammond Bears.
Formerly the Chicago Bears.
Okay. The Chicago Bears.
Go team up with Montez.
Yeah.
Montez Sweat.
Yeah. I think that would be a perfect location. He can play in the cold, play in Cincinnati. But I don't know. I think that's the type of player that I think that defense needs. They lost DJ Moore. They're going to need a little help elsewhere, so that defense might need to be bolstered for Williams.
Okay. Now, come down this rabbit hole with me, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Because a few things have to happen for this to happen. Because they just spent a bunch of money.
He's not going to go to the Commanders.
No, he's not going to go to the Commanders. We spent our money on Owe, which I've got feelings about. But I agree with you that Hendrick wants to go somewhere that he has a chance to win. He's in the back nine of his career. He's probably doesn't have another 17.5 sack season in him. He doesn't got it. Maybe he'll get 12. That's still very, very good.
And be a disruptor.
But he's also been on a team where it's almost like he's on an island. He's the one good defensive player on his team. And he's like, I don't want to be the guy and have that on my shoulders and really will my team. So I want to go to a team that knows how to play defense. I want to go to a team that has a chance to win. This team there's rumors around that they're potentially going to be cutting a very expensive player on their team. Again, it's all hearsay right now. But the 49ers are talking about sending Trent Williams away, finally. They're saying, you know what? You're costing us too much.
Yeah.
We lose that salary. We can bring on a Hendrickson, Bosa. That defense and that offense.
Now with Mike Evans.
Like, if I'm looking at if I'm Hendrickson, I'm like, I don't need to be the most I still want to get my money. But I want to go to a team that knows how to play defense, that has a good chance of winning. So my gut is telling me Trey Hendrickson to the 49ers.
I like that. I wouldn't be mad at that. That'd be a good call by him.
Yeah.
Because they've also got another good defensive tackle. They're building up they love building up that defensive line. Which sucks. Oh, we'll get to your Commanders in a second.
Yeah, easy. All right, and then we've got two more really quick. We'll fly through these. How about with Njoku? Njoku, Homer, I want him to come to the Commanders.
Yeah.
I want Njoku to come to the Commanders. We need a tight end. Zach Ertz is, I know that he's saying all the right things. I'm going to be ready. But, dude, you're 35. I know that Njoku's turning 30 this year, but he's still athletic as all get-outs.
Yeah.
He's a great safety valve for Jaden Daniels. I know that we've been talking about upgrading the tight end position. I would love to see Njoku come to the Commanders.
No, that would be a good spot. One thing with Jaden Daniels, I think any receiver, you've got a much better shot than you've ever had at getting a guy like that to come to the team. That's a good one. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the Eagles or even the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Eagles didn't re-sign Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I'm surprised you didn't say Steelers because you guys dropped Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
I think Freiermuth's a free agent, right?
Well, that's the thing. That's the big if. I mean, I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not. So if they plan on re-signing him, then perhaps. But I don't know. The Steelers have really. I mean, they did get Jonnu Smith, but they've actually always drafted decently. I feel like maybe
you're just thinking of Heath Miller.
They had Heath Miller. Jesse James was pretty good.
Jesse James.
That was a catch against the Patriots. God bless. Once again, Todd French wants to talk about all these moments. Yes, that the Patriots got lucky. But then, Freiermuth's not been but so bad. I don't know. It depends on what he's going to go for. But if he's the only good tight end, it might just be out of that range that they're willing to pay.
Okay. I mean, you guys...
We did just sign Pittman, too, so we've got...
And Dean.
Yeah. And, then also got...
And Rico, apparently.
Yeah, so I think offensively, spending-wise, it might just be better to try to, draft a guy in, the third or fourth round for tight end.
Well, that comes to my last one. I had Rico Dowdle slotted here, and I was going to go Commanders on this, too, because I thought he would have been a perfect fit for us.
He would have.
But Steelers stole him away. So, in the fifth spot of the free agents that have a lot of buzz to them, Tyreek Hill. Where you got Ty going in 2026? You lost for words.
It can only be one team. It can only be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I just... Anywhere else, I mean... All the other teams, it's like Kansas City Chiefs, I feel have a 95% chance, and then every other team is at 5%. I don't know where else who would really want to take a flyer on him? I mean, I guess a team, maybe depending on the price, maybe the Patriots give him a shot. I don't know why you'd want to bring that into your locker room, but the talent-wise, I could just see any team being every team wanted to give Josh Gordon a shot. So
you love bringing back Josh
because
Gordon.
It's just he was given 5 too many chances, after he failed in 3 other places miserably. So I don't know. Kansas City just seems like the best, especially they've got Bieniemy. I mean, it's going to be Kelsey and Mahomes.
Bringing the band back, getting the band back together.
It is.
Yeah, this is the one that we're in agreement on. I also think that Tyreek Hill, if he goes anywhere, it's going to be with the Kansas City Chiefs, or he might just speed up and become a porn star like he said he wanted to.
Hey, he's close to that age anyway. Yeah, the injury it might force you into that early retirement to start his new career.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, like we said before, he's got a plan.
All right, so this kind of segues. I mentioned I wanted Rico, and you stole him. Well, let's get some Homer picks here. What free agents do we want to see our teams sign that are left over, if there are any? So let's start with you there, Semko. Who do you want to see the Steelers sign?
I think the only guy left out there that I would really want, and I know we just signed Dean, I would love to get Woolen. I just would love to have as many corners as possible, and that's probably mostly because the Steelers have always struggled for cornerbacks, and I just feel like the more, the merrier at this point.
Yeah. So I wanted Rico. I thought, again, he would have been a good fit. I wanted Njoku. I already kind of mentioned that. We got Mariota re-signed, so I didn't worry about a backup quarterback or anything like that. I do not want I do not want Tyreek Hill. The way that this is shaping up, and I kind of told you this before we got on, and I told you it's if we do not go after and get Rico, the Commanders are now fully leaning on drafting Jeremiah Love if he falls to
Oh,
them.
yeah. Yes.
They lost that on, like, they didn't go after Rico, or maybe they did and they didn't offer enough. Rico's falling right on our lap. We signed a DN in OA, which we way overpaid for this guy. Dude. Oh my God, $100 million. This guy had 7.5 sacks last year. That shows you how desperate we were for pass rush.
Dude.
Desperate.
That's what your first overall pick is for. What's crazy for the Commanders? Remember when defensive line was the only thing you guys had? When you had like Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ioannidis, and there was like another guy that you guys were like that drafted in like the 5th or 6th round. And you're like, this guy's really good.
The hell?
We
at one point we had 4 first rounders on our D line.
Yeah. And they all kind of played like it, too, though.
No, Chase Young did not.
Oh, okay. Oh, Chase Young. That's what I was okay.
But we had Montez Sweat, we had Daron Payne, we had Jonathan Allen, and we had Chase Young. On all first rounders.
Yeah.
All picked in the last 5 years.
I know.
But, yes, we got a DN, and we'll see if this one works out. I pray to God that it does. I know that he got 7.5 sacks in 12 games. That's a great number, but it's a small number, and he did it in a contract year. I talk about this all the time. I don't trust guys that wait until their contract year to turn it on, because then they're just going to turn it off. So that's why I'm very trepidatious, but we've got a lot of salary cap left. I'm okay with us taking a flyer. Oh, never mind. He just got freaking signed. Jesus. I was going to say Devin Lloyd, but he just signed with the freaking Panthers. Oof. Because, again, I'm going with the mindset of we are fully in the camp of let's go after Jeremiah Love in the draft. So we need linebacker help. I'd love to see us get another linebacker out there.
I don't think that's a good move for the Commanders.
Going after Love?
You need defense.
I mean, he could be such a game changer. This guy could be Saquon Barkley.
He could. He could. So you guys are going to win games 42-40.
Yes.
Okay.
Offense wins championships.
You heard it here, everybody.
I mean, but I mean, if we don't, I mean, there's a wealth of strong linebackers that are coming out of this draft that'll be reasonable top 10 picks. So I'm okay with it either way. I'm just glad that with us getting away, hopefully that means that we're out of the small arms Bane contest. No disrespect, but you're already playing at a disadvantage, quite literally. I mean, everybody's like, but Aaron Donald. Okay, Aaron Donald is the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Is not, hey, well, everybody can be like Aaron Donald. No, 101.
Yeah.
Okay, so just shut that
down. Aaron Donald might be the greatest defender of all time. I mean, he could be like top 5.
Yeah.
Of all time.
So you can't use him as a barometer.
Yeah. There's just no way.
But yeah, not all free agents are going to get picked. I know that we're over time, but I got to talk about this. There are some free agents that might go without signing, but we got good news for not only them, but for you and Seabury apparently, because you can make a very good living if your football career doesn't work out by just feeding cats. Yes, that's right. This guy made $23,000 in a single month for cat sitting.
Yeah.
1,000 cats.
That's way too many cats.
Even for you, you love cats.
I do love cats, but not all cats love people. So that there had to be some challenging households to go into. I will say though, it's still good money, but he only made that much because it was the Chinese New Year, and they basically take a month off of everything. So it's really a time where everyone takes vacation. So everyone was gone. So this guy just got to basically cat sit for everyone else that took vacation, and he didn't.
Yeah, so as Semko was mentioning, a man in China says he made $23,000 looking after cats for a month, with him having to feed up to 55 cats in one day. I'm sorry, that sounds like a freaking cakewalk. Cats aren't like dogs. You don't have to walk them. You don't have to...
No.
Like overfeed them or make sure you don't overfeed them. You literally drop food in the freaking bowl, leave them alone. Maybe you clean out the kitty litter.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What is that, like a once a week thing? Kitty litter? So I guess maybe you had to do that, schedule that in as well. But yeah, I mean, cats are pretty easy, but boy, some of them can be pretty vicious, though. You better hope you just don't see them.
Yeah, you just get your shin guards on.
Yeah.
Right at the soccer practice, just put your shin guards on so I can't rip your... Believe me, I know.
Well, you needed the ankle guards for little Dobby.
Jesus.
I can't believe you remember the name.
Of course I remember the name. It's burned into my brain. Him and Pickles. Was Dobby a boy?
Yes.
Yeah, him and Pickles.
Pickles.
Yes. And I love dogs, but man, that dog
I only
sucks.
got the pleasure to meet Pickles.
Sucked. He's dead. So, good riddance.
Man. Dwight would probably agree, I think.
I'll never forget the time that DW's wife at the time, we won't name her, Pam, but she had apparently trained him to attack people. Like, I remember I was hanging out in the kitchen, Pam was like, hey, watch this trick, and she brought him over, and she's like, Pickles. So I was like, oh, look at this cute little beagle thing. I love dogs.
Yeah.
And then she would start feigning injuries, like, oh, stop, blah, blah, blah. And he would lunge at me. I still have a mark on my leg, like 15 years later, of where he bit me right in the freaking leg. Maybe I blame the owner.
Yes, it's always the owner. Unfortunately, it's the owner. The dog takes after the owners and how they act. We actually just were walking our dog today, and these two dogs were like running up and down the stairs onto like a deck, and the guy, he just like threw one of them like down the stairs like multiple times.
Jesus.
And he's yelling and everything, and like Callista's like, I gotta keep walking or else like I'm gonna say something. Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, he's acting all chaotic, he's getting all flustered, he's like cursing at the thing. It's like, that's not gonna help. And you just like throwing him down, like he might even think it's fun or something. And you're getting all mad, but it's like, yeah, a dog takes after its owner. Yeah. If you're a calm owner, the dog's probably going to be calm.
Yeah.
Got to train it a little bit. Got to put in some effort. Obviously, Pam did put in some effort.
Because she taught the thing
to attack.
Yeah.
Wow. That's diabolical.
I like DW's new dogs, though.
I do. Chester. And...
Cody. How did you forget Cody?
Cody, too.
I think his name is actually Cody, too.
It is, I think.
Cody, too. Yeah, but he actually he lost the he gave up Pickles. I think that was willingly.
Yes.
But then he also lost his other dog, which was the best name ever because his last name is Keys.
Oh, Bruce.
Bruce Keys.
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody knows DW's not having kids. This is his only opportunity to name something that name.
Thank God it was a dog and not a... Well, actually, you know what? The kid, it would have been pretty cool.
DW's kid?
Bruce Keys.
Oh, Bruce Keys.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like DW's kid is just in a world of trouble if that's your daddy.
Don't you just love sometimes thinking of that, like, alternate universe?
Where DW's got, like, the white picket fence, the 2 kids?
Yeah. Or, like, 4 kids, just kind of like what the day would look like or something.
I can't even imagine.
That makes it fun.
He'd probably have them all working. They'd all be homeschooled, and he'd just be like, just watch the computer and tell me if somebody needs something. I'm going to go play NHL on my PlayStation.
I mean, truthfully, they'd probably be ahead of the curve with everything like AI.
Tech
they'd
stuff,
probably get some great job within that area. Great job, DW.
Or they'd just be binging Frisky Dingo and Rick and Morty.
Or would they turn into like Kurt Emre's?
One can only hope. Hey, a Kurt Emre shout out. Way to bring it back. We'll do one quick update really quickly before we wrap. I know that we're over time. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey.
I know. It was a long sports heavy.
We had a lot
episode.
of sports to talk about. Yeah.
We even left some stuff out. I had stuff for Major League Baseball, storylines to follow. I'll tell you what, there's only 2. Will the Dodgers three-peat and the labor negotiations.
And I had so many more wacky stories we didn't even get to.
I know.
We had the camels with Botox. We had the East Ventura Rhino going on sale.
I had to watch that clip today.
I bet you did. And then, of course, we got the fire spiders. The fire spiders we didn't even get to.
I know.
We'll get to it. Maybe they'll be a week older, but our listeners have no idea.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll bring it back for the next episode.
Maybe we'll find a way next week to not make the episode on March Madness, because obviously I don't know if everyone wants to listen to us talk for almost 2 hours on the college basketball tournament. So you know what? Maybe we do March Madness and then a time for... How about this, Brandon? Outline already. We're going to have it done.
Okay.
We're going to do each of the regions, and then in between each region we throw in a story.
Okay.
To break it all up.
Okay.
So that's going to be at least four non-sport stories to go in there.
Man, is there a team that's going to be in the brackets whose mascot is a rhino? Because that'd be a super easy segue. Or camel. Or spiders. Is University of Richmond going to make the brackets? That would be an easy segue. Otherwise, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. Because I doubt anyone's called like the Bay City Botox or the the Venture City Venturas.
That's crazy. You've got a Saluki as a mascot, but you don't have... I can't think of a rhino.
Which is weird.
camel.
I feel like a rhino would be a good mascot
It
name.
would be an awesome mascot name. Maybe we must be missing. There's got to be some mid-major that's a rhino.
I don't know.
We got to have our stat guy.
Or camels. Do you think there are any camels out there? I know there's plenty of camel toes.
Plenty of those.
Hey.
Oh. Rhino mascot.
We're going again. We're doing it.
I know. I enjoy talking to you so much, man.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
The Gaston College in North Carolina.
Good for them.
They're
They're on the map. They just got on the pod. Congratulations, guys.
I don't even know if they're Division One. Man, we start a college. We should have our mascot be the rhino.
Let's do it.
We're almost extinct, but not quite.
Yeah, maybe that's why nobody's called the rhinos. It's like, you're an endangered species.
Yeah, highly endangered.
All right, well, again, no Kurt Emre response. He must just be busy binging our recordings. But DW did very gracefully say, give me his phone number. So we might have to do it. Maybe we give DW his info. And just like with Tinder, he's got the magic touch. Maybe he's got the magic touch with Kurt Emre.
I mean, you had the good segue. Maybe Dwight will take it a much calmer approach, which I don't think he will.
No, he'll go off on just a rail, and it'll be pretty wild.
Dwight will be like, these are all the things that Brandon and Jason have said about you.
No, it'll be something completely off the wall that we're not even expecting, and I look forward to it. But yeah, great stuff for next week. Obviously, we're going to have the brackets. Super excited about that. Always a fun time.
Yes.
We're going to be that much closer to our fantasy baseball draft, which is, I'm sure, on the top of everybody's bucket list of, what are they going to talk about there?
There's nothing that other grown men like hearing than other grown men's fantasy sports.
Yes, that's true.
Like, especially if you're not even in the league, you just soak it up.
Yeah, so you guys can all just crap on our takes or just come along for the ride.
Yeah.
Obviously, more coming on the ride for me and maybe more crapping on you. But
that's fine. But yeah, we'll have to come up with a good bet that we'll have to do for
that ranch milkshake. I'm sure it travels well. I'll just get one order from Ohio in a sweat-soaked box, and you just drink that thing down.
Okay, then we're going to do. I think the workout it might be like Eleanor. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
It's
Eleanor Roosevelt, because she was not a looker. You saying this workout's not going to be a looker?
You're not going to be a looker after the workout. I think it's a 1.5 mile run.
Pass.
150 burpees.
Pass.
And then another 1.5 miles.
Pass.
So you want to order me that milkshake as my penalty? That will be yours.
All right, I'm gonna look into it.
Okay.
Maybe the Williamsburg Great Wolf Lodge is getting them. Much easier to commute that.
Yes, if you have to get it commuted from Ohio and it's not cold, we're doing that twice.
Okay, all right. Good to know. All right, I know what I'm up against.
Yes.
But any last words there, Semco, before we close it out?
No, it's funny. I just feel like I'm in tangent-y mood. I'm sorry. That's, I think, one of the things we were kind of talking, like things that we do on each episode. Every time I ask you that, I'm like, any last words? You always go, no, and then you talk for like 2 minutes. And I was just about to do the same thing.
It's never a simple no.
Because there's always just something else I just want to say.
Can't shut you up. Can't shut you up.
I know, this is the only time I talk in a week. And so we're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. We should just shut it. I have nothing else to say. Even though I have a lot more. I love my college basketball.
I need us to wrap because this is my only time I can get a mock draft in. So we got to wrap because it's already bedtime and B goes, you got him in full fantasy baseball mode I gotta see it to the finish line.
Well, I don't want you to come in and make up an excuse like I didn't have enough time to do at least one mock draft because I don't want to hear any excuses from you.
You never do.
We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, we got to get out of here so you can do that.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do one together.
Oh my god.
Oh, how much fun.
Oh my god.
I want to draft 6th.
Okay, fine. Dude, I have control over this.
You do.
What?
You can put yourself in certain positions.
I don't want to draft with you because then you're going to see who I'm picking.
I had a mock draft with Burr once.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
I don't know. I think I left after that. It was one of those where I think it was bedtime. I was like, oh, only 3rd pick in. I was like, damn. But I did see that she. This was last year for fantasy baseball.
You did it with Burr last year?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Burr in 10 years.
I mean, it was coincidence. the name was Burr, and it had the Boston Red Sox logo on it.
Get the hell out. So you randomly joined a mock draft, and she was freaking in it?
Yes.
What, on Yahoo?
Yes.
You're out of your mind. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I had to be like, wait, that can't be. And then I saw the logo, and I was like, okay, that just has to be.
Did you, like, text her?
No, I've never met her. I never have. And our only exchange that we had, she had to delete and erase the messages that she sent me because they were NSFW.
Oh, were they a little
there was a lot
dirty?
Of F-bombs.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot, yeah. No, because I basically, like, I gave her a lot of crap for, like, the crappy trades that she sends.
Oh.
And so then I think after that, I think, like, I actually, like, beat her or something. And I was like, yeah, and said something like, I mean.
You were talking trash.
I was talking a lot of trash. And then she went way over the top.
You're like, whoa.
Oh, yes. I think that was my response. I was like, whoa, this is just fantasy baseball.
And you've never met her before?
Never met her at all.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so that's our only interaction. And she deleted the messages
fantastic.
that she sent. Yes.
Oh, man. But we got to get you two together. DW, make this happen. I think we got a special guest to the Be More trip. Or the Fellas Annual Getaway. They'll have to rename it because she's not a fella. It'll have to be a...
Well, I don't know. more of a fella than a lot of people I know, I think. Not really in our group, but just out there in general.
Okay, all right.
But do you have any last words?
No, I think I did it again. I said no, and then I talked for like 15 minutes, and now I'm self-conscious. So no, I don't have anything to say.
Fine. And that's another episode of Undrafted and Overconfident.
Great.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Good.
The two not great friends who've been arguing about sports for 20 years and still can't agree on anything or like each other. Hit that follow button, drop a rating, and email us at undraftedandoverconfident@gmail.com. Maybe we'll see you next week. A lot of different takes. Same stupid nonsense.
Nonsense.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. Peace.